Welcome to Vandegrift Vipers Football on the Vype Live Network. Presented by our Playmaker sponsors, Independence Title, Wayne Weigelt with State Farm, and Chicken Express at 4 Points. Vandegrift Vipers Football on Vype Live is also brought to you by our Black Level sponsors, Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and Steiner Ranch Steakhouse. And our White Level sponsors, Amanda Newman Interiors, Austin Dental, Card My Yard, Floor Coverings International, Rudy's Barbecue, Texas Family Physicians, Texas Malibu, and Tiff's Treats. And now, along with Hank Hudson and Matt Sanders, here's the voice of the Vipers, Merle Bertrand.
Good evening and welcome to Vandegrift Vipers Football on the Vype Live Network. My name is Merle Bertrand, coming to you live from Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park, Texas, where the Vipers get ready to resume District 25 6A play against another one of their oldest rivals, the Vista Ridge Rangers. I'm joined once again by lifetime Viper Matt Sanders and Hank Hudson. Brian Spiel is down to the sidelines, and my better half, Christina Weber Bertrand, our QA, keeping an eye and an ear on the broadcast. And guys, on paper, it's a battle of the unbeatens. Vista Ridge is 4-0, 2-0 in the district, while the Vipers are 3-1 overall, but also 1-0 in the district. But this is almost more than that. As with Cedar Park, Vandegrift has played Vista Ridge since year one and actually played them twice in one season a few years back. So, guys, how is this rivalry different from that with Cedar Park?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before we got on the air. You know, the Cedar Park rivalry is feel like it kind of goes back and forth, and every single game has been really exciting. But, you know, last couple years against the Rangers, the Vipers have had their number. It's kind of been one-sided. You know, when we played against them, we never really kind of circled this as a game where we were too concerned about the Rangers. You know, right. they've had some good teams every once in a while, and you can go back. It has to go, you know, a couple of years back to find the last time they beat the Vipers. So we talked about it a little bit. I feel like the rivalry is a little one-sided. The Rangers always want to beat the Vipers, but just can't get it done. And that's what I'm expecting tonight. I think the Vipers are just a more well-rounded team tonight, and I think they're going to get it done.
Well, it's the irresistible force meets the immovable object, a battle of two 4-0 teams, and the Vista Ridge Rangers have a lot of belief right now. They've actually printed out and distributed, sold through their merchandise hotline, I suppose, a special signature shirt commemorating the game. And when you're a 4-0 football team, the locker room, the intensity, the momentum is high. We have heard the chimes at midnight, guys. This is a big football game early in the district round of play. Important for the Vipers to come out and set the stage and make it happen right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, like Stoney pointed, the Vipers shut out before the bye week, or improvement week as coach refers to it. Vista Ridge is bursting with confidence in 4-0, especially after holding off Round Rock in a wild one a couple of weeks ago. This place is going to be full of fans in red and black spewing venom at the Vipers like you were just talking about with the special T-shirts and the whole deal. So how important is it to get off to a good start and suck the oxygen out of this Rangers teams and their fans?
Well, I think you've got to come out and set the tempo right from the beginning. I mean, Vandegrift, Coach Sanders, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, always likes to defer if he wins the toss, likes his defense out there first, going to set that tone, get a quick 3 and out. It's going to be important to, as always, the game is won and lost in the trenches. Right. Who controls the line of scrimmage is going to win the football game. And I think, Matt, you have to tip the hat in favor of the Vipers with that regard.
Yes, and especially with how they've been playing the last couple weeks. You know, we talked about the improvement this team has had. Moving on, and now they kind of got a much-needed improvement week. Was about to say bye week there, but where they got to rest a little bit and get their guys all healthy and coming off a bye is a huge thing as a team that's looking to make that push for the playoffs. And yeah, this is such an important game because, like you said, they're brimming with confidence, undefeated team. It's important to show them early, like, hey, you're not as good as you're not on our level. You're undefeated, but you're about to drop one here, and it just kind of can deflate their confidence that they have right now and show that it's not real early.
So I have one question, Matt. If you get a terminology incorrect during your broadcast, does Coach Sanders make you on wind sprint still? Do you have to conditioning?
Yeah, no black halos or anything like that anymore. I've happily outgrown that a little bit. So,
Well, that's just the table here. We'll take a real quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from Vipers head coach Drew Sanders, get his thoughts on Vandegrift's shutout win over Stony Point 2 weeks ago, find out what they've been doing during the improvement week, and get his thoughts on tonight's matchup with the Vista Ridge Rangers. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
When you buy or sell a piece of property, it helps to have a friend in the business. Independence Title will pick up the ball on your transaction and take it right across the goal line. Independence is locally owned right here in Austin with deep roots in the Vandegrift community. Independence is also the Austin Business Journal's #1 title company. Work with the home team at Independence Title. Call 329-5299 or go to independencetitle.com.
Thank you to our sponsor, Wayne Weigelt State Farm Insurance Agency, providing insurance and financial services. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Please visit www.agentwayne.com for all your insurance and financial service needs.
Family time, anytime, always worth every dime. On our ways, chicken eat, unbelievable sweet tea. Express tenders, they're the best, not to mention all the rest. Chicken E's the place to go for all of us in the know. Plenty of size to make a meal. Chicken E is for real. Follow me to Chicken E, gotta have their sweet tea.
And we're pleased to be joined once again in the pregame show by the head coach of the Vandegrift Vipers, Coach Drew Sanders. And, Coach, seems like it's been a lifetime already, just about 10 days ago or so. But undefeated Stony Point came in with a lot of momentum. It wasn't flashy, but it was convincing. Your thoughts on the Vipers' convincing 24-0 shutout win over the Stony Point Tigers?
Well, yeah, two things to talk. Really, three things. I love our punt game in that game. I thought we were very sound in that regard, and it flipped the field at times. I loved our defense's improvement. You know, we didn't look like a team that would ever generate a shutout that first game, and I'm not downing our kids or coaches. It just, we didn't look very good. And we had a lot of things to improve. So I was pleased with our improvement there. Had several key stops. They only made it past the 51 time the entire night. So very dominating performance. And offensively, I thought we played better than the score indicated. We had a couple of errors on their end of the field, you know, and so if even one of those two errors don't happen, it's 31-0, and that just for some reason sounds better. I don't know why, but it's 24-point victory, which I'll take that any day of the week. And so I thought we've done a good job offensively overcoming some of our guys that were missing. Coach Woolley, Coach Wilkine, and their staff is just, I'm so pleased with them and the way they're doing a good job. And of course, love our quarterback play, Brock Chilton, and has been leading the receiving corps, and Justin Moore leading the run game, and so pleased with those guys. We'll continue to get better, but yeah, a couple of errors, uncharacteristic errors. One bad call, I thought. I don't talk much about refs, but that wasn't a fumble by Brock on about the 10. You know, we all know the ground can't cause a fumble, and it was very clear. And so, you know, that's probably a 31-0, right? Just that right there. So we'll keep improving, but yeah, I do think, you know, we started this whole season, Merle, talking about like we've got a lot of new faces. We've got to continue to improve, and I thought we did that. We showed improvement from week 2 to week 3.
Yeah, you kind of led into my next question. On the surface, and I know there's a lot of more subtle things going on beyond the surface, but on the surface, defensively, it looks so much like last year. Started out a little porous and really kind of gelled and came together. Are you seeing the same kind of thing, and how much better can they get? Yeah,
we got, you know, Jake Venuto back on the front. That helped. Griffin Gorbeck now in a big-time role for us. That helped. One of our best players. He's a junior. Both of those guys are juniors. We've got some talent in our junior class. And so those two guys help. But, yes, people are getting in the right spot. People are communicating better. Griff is a very good communicator, and so he's helping that as he talks to the secondary and stuff. Because it looks simple. Our defense looks simple, but it's really not. We do a lot of nuanced type things, and we got to have communication.
Right.
And so that was a big part, getting him back and getting him in the starting role, and really pleased with him. So yeah, I mean, I think that we're moving that way. I'm not willing to dub us the doomsday defense yet, you know, but proud of our coaches, proud of our kids. I do think that they're, you know this, the best kind of ability is coachability, and you got to be coachable. And our guys are as coachable as it gets. And when things don't happen right away or exactly, that, you know, sometimes kids can pout or what. That's not happening with them.
And on the other side of the ball, the Viper offense scoring 3 rushing touchdowns, which is kind of nice. On the passing game, you mentioned Brock Chilton a few minutes ago, watching him emerge and become a superstar in the offense. I thought it was interesting that a couple of new faces emerged, Thomas Beekler and Chase Phillips, stepping up with Gavin Kester getting hurt. We talked about them having eyes as wide as dinner plates. They really seem to settle in their own. Talk about that a little bit and how that helps the offense.
Well, that's another one of the things that I just love about Vandegrift and being the head coach here is, like, every year me and you sit down and we think we know who's going to step up and we think we know who's coming back, and then there's always that open spot for a guy that comes up from the JV. He's worked his tail off and he finds a way to contribute. That's Chase Phillips. Chase did a great job. I think he had 7 or 8 catches, and being very reliable. He's blocking hard. He knows his assignment. And so, I'm just really proud of him, and there's several other young men like him that have waited their turn. They've busted their tail in the JV, and they're ready. They're ready. They've won a lot of games in the JV, so they're ready. And once you kind of get that wide-eyed out of the way the first series or so, then it is just football, And then, of course, Thomas Beekler's done a great job. He's on varsity last year, had a couple touchdowns, had a great blocking role last year, and helped a ton winning our state title. But now he's in more of a feature role where he's catching the ball a lot, and we're going to him. And his yards after catch is tremendous. He is very strong. He's big. He does a great job of going and getting the ball, too. But yes, very impressed with his improvement too, and those guys. That's what we got to have. We got to have some guys step up, especially with Gavin's absence.
Well, the Vipers coming off of Improvement Week. That's the bye week for those people that are uninitiated in the ways of Viper football. Aside from the obvious, which is practice and that kind of thing, what is some of the other things that the Vipers have been doing this week?
Well, the first thing is we're healing up. We're beat up, a real physical start to our year, so that's helpful to be a little bit lighter on the body last week. So that's one. Number 2 is we're just trying to get, like you said, the receiving part is we're trying to get the quarterback and the new receivers on all the same page, and of course O-line, we're playing a couple of new guys there, so they're getting acclimated, because the O-line unit it's truly like a family. Like, they have to work together. They have to. And then defensively is some of the basic things that you would already know by watching us. We've got to get better at tackling. Some of our spacing and rotations on some of the coverages needs to get way better. So it's and we worked a lot on creating takeaways. We created 2 in the games, but we haven't gotten credit for them. One of them, Parker Davis, created a fumble, didn't get credit the game before. Same thing, we didn't get credit. Well, we need to create more. And so that was also a point of emphasis.
Vandegrift Vipers head coach Drew Sanders, I guess, during the pregame show. Turning our attention now as we come off Improvement Week. Big rivalry game coming in here. You mentioned last time we spoke that Vipers have developed a hunter attitude instead of being the hunted attitude. Well, they got a chance to hunt a long-time district opponent and arch rival in Vista Ridge. They're going to be coming in here 4-0, riding some momentum and confidence. Talk about this year's version of the Rangers. Yeah,
they're as talented as they've been. They've got great receiving core. They have a strong tight end, a couple of strong tight ends. Big offensive line. The left tackle's huge. And then defensively, they've always been solid defensively. You check all their scores out. They're in every game because they play hard, tough defense. They really do. They're coached well. They believe in their system, and it works for them. Everybody has so many different kinds of systems, right? And they do a great job. Coached well. I know Coach Scott very well. Good guy. And runs a good program. They do a good job. So, and right now they're riding high on being 4-0, and so they're going to come in with tons of confidence. So it's our job to weather that storm at their place, and hopefully we can play through that and find a way to get one more point than them.
Well, they battle some adversity themselves with injuries, especially at the quarterback position. Talk about the new quarterback coming in. How does that change things defensively for the Vipers?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. In high school you don't really release an injury report. I've heard that he's out. I don't know the starter. He's played last year, but I'm not sure. I guess he could come back this week. I don't know. We know a lot about him. We don't know much about the guy that's coming in, number 10. But, man, I do know that now after watching him play in 6 quarters or 6.5 quarters, like, he can run. He runs around, scoots around. He can throw on the run. He seems to operate the offense just as well as a starter. And so he's definitely got our ears perked up on defense. Like, it is not some, like, you might be thinking, well, this backup quarterback's not going to know. It's actually, I think he's maybe just like the starter. He may run around a little bit more, but I don't. It's kind of like, man, they had 1A, and they must have had 1A and 1B, kind of like we had a couple years ago, with Drew and Deuce, and just two really good quarterbacks. That sounds like what their thing is. So he'll be a lot to handle, but we are looking forward to the challenge for sure.
And last question for you. First road game for Vandegrift since the opener at Dripping Springs. Big rivalry game, hostile environment. Are you kind of interested to see how the team responds to that after what happened out in Drip?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how we respond. We'll see how they respond. They'll come in trying to beat us. They haven't done that in a while, so it's up to them too to respond well. But yeah, our guys have gained a lot of experience from that. And, obviously you don't know until you get out there, but I feel strongly we've had a good week of practice, and I feel strongly they'll go out and play. But it's going to be a great game. I mean, both teams are very good. And so it's kind of like we talked about this before we started. Our whole district is pretty even this year. Yeah. There's a lot of great teams, surprises along the way, and so that, it's going to be a great game for us to make sure that we're still tracking the right direction. But I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It seems like, a month since the Vipers have played football. It's only been 2 weeks. That game against Dripping Springs seems like last season already. So it should be a lot of fun. Good luck, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Merle.
Vandegrift Vipers head coach Drew Sanders, a guest here on the pregame show. We'll take a break and be right back. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Yeah, we're actually just going to keep it right here because we're about to have our national anthem. Got a minute or two as the color guard makes its way on the field. All right, not sure how well that came across. Kind of like over at Monroe Stadium. The built-in crowd mic here at Gupton does not work, so we got a microphone hung out alongside the press box, and it just doesn't pick up a whole heck of a lot except little kids yelling and screaming. So,
well, I don't think that the listeners out there, Merle, truly appreciate the engineering feats that you manage to pull off every single week. I mean, it's frankly quite amazing how you keep it all together. Not only do you doing the broadcast for the Vipers game, but you've also got the board up for all the other broadcasts, and it's like pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz, Merle Bertrand.
On that note, do not send me an email tonight. I do not have access to it. My personal computer decided it wasn't going to work tonight. So there won't be any email shout-outs, but we'll get the broadcast on, and that's the main thing. This is actually the 17th overall meeting between these two neighborhood rivals. Vista Ridge, one of just two schools, along with Cedar Park. The Vandegrift has played every single year, although the Vipers actually played the Rangers twice back in 2015. Once in the regular season, and then the Rangers knocked them out of the playoffs to prevent the Vipers from going back to the Final Four for a second straight year. Vandegrift now leads the series 12-4, and Matt, we were talking about this before we went on the air. The Vipers have actually won the last 8 meetings.
8 straight.
Yeah, after beating the Rangers 38-7 last year at Monroe Stadium. So the Rangers have scored just 14 points on the Vipers in the past 4 games. Don't know if we'll see that tonight, but I wouldn't mind that at all.
I would not mind that trend continuing at all. You know, we're a little biased up here towards the Vipers, but
it's a partisan broadcast.
Yeah, just a little bit. You know, we try not to be too biased, but man, that's one of those streaks. Like, it gets to the point where you're getting 8 games in a row where it's like I'm saying, it's a one-sided rivalry. Right. They really care about beating us, and it's kind of like how we've ran the district the last couple of years. A lot of schools mark this Vandegrift game on their calendar, and for the Vandegrift Vipers, it's just another one to just one more step towards their ultimate goal, that state title. So everyone brings their A game versus the Vipers, and that's what you kind of get when you become a winning program like they have been. Since honestly the first year we had seniors, when pretty consistently been in the playoffs since then. So just what happens when you just continue to win.
And you see it everywhere. As soon as the game is done, either that night or the next morning, I don't know if it's Coach Sanders or somebody will post on Twitter, "Nice team win," on to the next one.
Yeah,
it's like such a business-like approach during the
regular season. It's a business trip, right?
Yeah.
Matt Sanders, Vipers love going on the road. Hope we get a partisan turnout on the visiting side, but in the beautiful Gupton Stadium, what a gorgeous stadium.
Yeah, this is home away from home.
In the pantheon of my memories here, I'll never forget the 2020 graduating class, that year of COVID. And I give a shout out to Principal Charlie Little, Vandegrift High School principal. Stood out here at 105 degrees as he did the graduation ceremony for 600 kids. He had his black regalia on. He was sweating bullets straight down. I think he probably lost 10 pounds. So
I bet he was very happy moving back to the HEB Center where they normally have a little AC.
I don't know how he did it.
Well, Vipers won the coin toss, and they've elected to defer, so the defense will be on the field first. Wiley Olsen set to kick it away. And the ball's in the air, and the rivalry game of Vista Ridge is underway. It's going to be about 5 yards deep in the end zone. They're going to bring it out. Nope, he thought about it and took a knee. Probably thought better of it because he had Jacob Schmidt barreling down on him. So 1st and 10 Rangers coming up here. Their first offense possession of the night. They're averaging 29.8 points per game, 336 yards per game, about a 2-to-1 pass-to-run ratio. Caden Arnaud, the starter, was injured in Game 3. Cameron Lacey took over in the Round Rock game. Did 15 out of 23, 175 yards with 2 touchdowns in that contest. So he's, Coach talked about kind of 1 and 1A. I don't think there's a huge drop-off there.
Yeah, this is he's just and it looks like he is out there with the starters. So from what I've heard, kind of rumors of the past quarterback was a pretty serious injury, I'm pretty sure broken bone, so he's going to be out for a little bit. But this is a quality backup they've got where their offense really hasn't missed a beat since he stepped in.
The first down 10 from the 25-yard line, and a handoff up the middle, and swallowed up nicely there by the Viper defense. Maybe pushed the pile forward for a couple of yards, Gavin Law. That running back is junior running back Quinn Sizatowski, 104 yards last week, 39 carries, 248 yards on the season, averaging 6.4 yards per carry with 3 touchdowns. He's going to be a test for this Viper defense tonight.
And also, Merle, he's on the first-team All-District name team. Sizatowski.
No kidding.
Absolutely.
It sounds easier to say than it is. SZCZYTOWSKI. Anytime you go 6 letters without a vowel, you're asking for trouble. Picked up 2, 2nd down and 8. Dropping back. And pass over to the right side, just off the fingertips of the receiver. Had him open down there, trying to get it on to Deshaun Castillo. But the pass ball is incomplete, and 3rd down and 8 coming up, a chance to get off the field.
Only a 3-man rush that time. Matt Sanders, good protection. Had a little bit of a window, but it wasn't a very big one. Couldn't manage to thread the needle.
Yeah, and this is just, early in the game, you take those kind of shots deep to kind of hone it in, right? That's one of the hardest things to do is connect on those deep balls. So when you have an opportunity early, you want to take them. One, if you do hit on them, you gain momentum. And two, if you miss, it's close and you're kind of warming back up and getting used to throwing deep right at the start of the game.
So 3rd down and 8 coming up. Lasek in the shotgun. Mason Keene going to motion left to right, settles in off the tight end. Zutowski in the pistol, dropping back. Now the pocket breaks down, rolling to his right, being pursued. Cuts it back up and not going to get anywhere.
Crushed in the backfield.
Yeah.
Parker Davis, number 6, looks like
he forced him inside, right?
Looks like he's playing a spy coverage there because of the fleet-footed quarterback, number 10, Cameron Lake. Is that how you say that?
Lasik, I believe.
Lasik, yeah. And this is part of his games I talked with Coach about, and he is an extender. He kind of plays like a little Patrick Mahomes style, runs around back there, and he extends plays, and that'll get the defense into a little bit of trouble because he can run around and create these kind of extra seconds that you don't want to give a quarterback. But it also can get him into trouble where he just kind of runs around and gets himself sacked a lot too.
Ooh, kind of a squib kick off the side of the foot, but it's going to get the job done. Takes a Vista Ridge roll. And going to be down at the 46-yard line. It's a good field position with the Vipers. Give a shout out to my better half, Christina Weber-Bertrand of Kuwait tonight, checking in. Going to be relying on her since I can't actually keep an eye on the broadcast myself. So go back to the old school way of doing things here a little bit.
Good field position to start for the Vipers. 3 and out, just as the doctor ordered. That's that. I'm not sure if they deferred. They won the toss and deferred. But what's Coach Sanders' record on the coin flip, Matt? Is he better than 500?
I'm pretty sure he wins most of the time.
That's what I thought.
It's one of those things that's supposed to be 50-50, but I swear he wins most of the time I watch the game. So
it seems like he wins a lot.
Maybe he knows a little trick I don't.
So Chilton comes in motion across the formation, settled into the right side here for Teodecki. And play action pass. And it's got Chilton on the dead run across the 40 to the 35, down to the 30-yard line, just like that. About a 26-yard reception.
That'll get the offense jumping as Chilton drags the defender with him for a couple extra yards. He's more of the guy who will kind of avoid contact, and we saw the strength of Chilton right there, dragging the defender. Really nice, pitch and catch there for the Vipers.
Teodecki, 53 out of 82, 553 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 freakish interceptions on the year. Also, 4.3 yards per carry. He can rush if he has to. Good to see Justin Moore out there. I thought he was going to be out injured tonight, so good to see that young man on the field, 144 yards in 39 carries. Lined up to the right side of Teodecki. He's going to get the carry off right tackle. Big hole, 25. Lowers the shoulder and bangs it down to the 22-yard line.
What a cavernous hole off the right side, led by number 77, the right tackle. Good to see him back in the starting lineup. That's Carter Mannon. They just caved that side of the defensive line down. Great job up front, along with his buddy, the right guard. That's number 60, Abib Garcia.
I believe we have a new center tonight. For the first time, Caden O'Rourke, a junior, coming in and playing some center. He's listed on the depth chart right now. Is that tight end? Well, that's not a tight end. He's 6'3" and 285. That's about as O-lineman as you can get right there. But this is the first game he's ever snapped in, but looking good so far and filling in that role.
And play action pass. Swings it out left side to Chilton on the edge. To the 20. Got the first down and more inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line. Vipers, as Hank would say, I'm going to steal his line, matriculating down the field.
Oh, Merle Bertrand. I've sold plenty of your lines, Merle, so I guess that's fair,
okay.
Fair game.
I used that in the Southwestern broadcast last week. I hope he don't charge me royalties.
You need to come after him with the suit for that. Viper offense just really moving really nicely, staying ahead of the schedule here.
First down 10 at the 15-yard line. One receiver left, 2 receivers to the near side. Sam Brown now in the game at running back. Play action. Pocket breaks down, rolling to his right. Buys himself some time. Pump fake. Now he's going to tuck it up and takes it down to the 5-yard line. Takes a late hit. Gets 9 yards. No sliding there for the baseball player, Teodecki. 2nd and 1 coming up.
He's a nifty runner. He always does a good job with the hips, makes the ball fake. Always manages to make a guy miss.
Yeah, and even when he didn't slide there, he's still pretty smart about not taking a big hit. Knows to kind of get low to the ground and go down quickly. And that's what you want to see from a quarterback. Smart runs like that. Don't get yourself in too much trouble because we need you for the whole year. But use your legs when you need them.
Picked up 8. 2nd down and 2. Hand off Brown. His first touch of the night. He lowers the shoulder and bangs it down to about the 3-yard line. Man,
tough running.
Tough running. Nice hold by the offensive line. They're going to go quickly here. 1st and goal from about the 3. Maybe the 2. One receiver left, one to the near side. Give it back to Brown. He tries it off right tackle. Took contact, digging towards the goal line, got it in, touchdown, Vandegrift.
And that's what you want to see out of Sam Brown, lowering the shoulder. I mean, we talked about this, I guess 2 weeks ago now, not last week, but this kid's not afraid of contact. Looks like he wants to hit people on his runs. I don't think he's ever avoided a tackler before. I've seen.
It might be that he is desirous of contact. I mean, the way he runs.
I mean, those two guys hit and stood each other up, and then he just kept pushing forward.
That was a big-time collision at the goal line, and it's advantage Sam Brown as he barrels into the end zone. Touchdown Vipers.
Wiley Olsen on to tack on the extra point. 10 out of 10 thus far this season. Out of the hold of Lawson Lombard. Good snap. The kick is up.
Ain't good.
And bangs it off the scoreboard. And the Vipers, with 7:40 to go in the first quarter, drawing first blood 7-0. We'll take a break and be right back. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Have suffered an orthopedic injury or have joint pain, let Dr. Matthew Crawford and his team at Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine take care of you. Dr. Crawford specializes in diagnosis and treatment of sports-related injuries with an emphasis on injury prevention and conservative treatments. He and his team offer cutting-edge arthroscopic and minimally invasive surgical techniques. Visit them today at austin-orthopedics.com. Let Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine keep you at the top of your game.
Viper fans, is your home in need of a refresh? Whether you want a full-service home renovation or it's time to create your dream kitchen or bathroom, A. Newman Interiors has you covered. We will use our preferred pricing with major brands to choose the most perfect furniture and finish selections for any space in your home or office. A. Newman Interiors has proudly served the 4 Points community for over 10 years, and there's no better clients than our Viper fans. Call 626-310-2315 today to schedule your free consultation.
And welcome back to Gupton Stadium. Merle, Hank, and Matt with you. Christina Weber back at the Comfy Cozy Vype Live Studios, better known as our living room, keeping an eye and an ear on the broadcast. And Hank will give you the drive numbers here right after this kickoff. It was a good way to start the ball game for Vandegrift. Kickoff is going to sail again. Fair catch call for made. Pretty good drive, Hank Hudson.
Unbelievable drive to start the game. You get a 3 and out. Did you go on defense first, and then the Vipers matriculate the ball down the field in a 6-play, 54-yard drive for the touchdown on a run, 3-yard touchdown run by number 40, the rolling ball of butcher knives, Sam Brown.
Hey, I mean, you can't ask for a better start than what we just saw to the Vipers. Really nice stop on defense.
Right.
And what a drive on offense. That's how you get the game started as an offense that is the strong point of this team so far in this season. Go down and immediately score on your first drive, and there was little resistance from the Rangers defense on that drive.
So Rangers back out of the field. That throwing 25-yard line following the fair catch. Low snap, handoff left side, and not much running room there for Sizatowski. Wrapped up after a 2-yard pickup, going to bring up a 2nd down and 8. First man there was Brady Spielis.
Boy, gang tackling once again. Matt Sanders, 8 white jerseys in and around the football. Love the way this Vipers football team. It's just part of the culture. They fly to the football, get there. Everybody gets to the football. Do they have a drill for that? Did they run a pursuit drill, something like that?
They do at practice. They it's one of those deals where they're running through stuff where everyone has to get to the ball before they blow the whistle and then reset. So it's just kind of one of those things that it's an expectation, and glad to finally see it coming to fruition this season.
Try the same play around the left side. A little bit more luck that time for Sizatowski. Brady Spiels there on the stop again, but it's going to be about a 4-yard pickup. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 from the 31-yard line.
Nice contrast on the uniforms today. Vipers in the all-white.
Yeah.
Looking good.
This division, the red jerseys. I haven't seen the red jerseys in a while.
I don't ever remember seeing them in red jerseys. Looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, I do like this uniform combo for Vista Ridge. Fortunately, normally I don't say that about the opposing team, but I actually like their uniforms they came out in tonight.
3rd down and 4 from the 31-yard line. Dropping back. Lasik fires over to the left side. Caught over the middle of the 35. Breaks the tackle out to the 40 and pushing the pile up to about the 43, maybe the 44-yard line. Still pushing it forward. And the Vipers finally get him down all the way out to the 45.
Pile of mass there.
Yeah.
As the Vipers do their thing right to the football, but the Rangers also pushing the pile forward there to get a couple extra yards. Really nice job by their offense and their O-line getting involved. And now set up a nice first down.
Yeah, great first down. Great execution up front Matt Sanders, is the Vipers bringing pressure off the right side of that Vista Ridge offensive line. Running back steps into the hole, nullifies the blitzer, gives the quarterback time to throw, completion for a first down.
Trips in a triangle here to the near side. 2 wide right. Empty back set for Lasek. First down or 10 at the range of 45. Dropping back is actually dropped in and out of the hands of the intended receiver.
He hit him in a bad place, the hands.
The hands, that's right. 2nd and 10.
It's number 11, the senior Ben Reed, open. Nice little slant concept right there, sitting him down, and just doesn't look it in all the way. As a wide receiver, it's so common at the high school level. You get so excited to get a catch, you get the ball, and you start looking upfield, but you got to secure the football first.
2nd down and 10 from the 45. Stops the clock. 5:37 to go opening quarter. Vipers up 7-0. 2 receivers wide right. Dropping back, Lasek. Quick drop. Fires over the middle of the field. Caught wide open over the middle. Breaking a tackle. Stays on his feet and bangs it down to the 29-yard line. Hauled in by Mason King, the senior tight end. That was a tight end reception right there.
That's a seam right up that seam. So you're bringing some pressure, Matt Sanders. The linebackers vacating that area of the field. So, good scouting report there by the Vista Ridge coaching staff. And another good blitz pickup. Vipers brought 5 that time. And, they pushed the pocket back there, but didn't manage to get that blitzer running
just
free.
Not enough pressure to impact the throw there. And really nice play design by the Rangers.
First down at the Viper 30. Lasek, play action, rolls to his right, in trouble, steps up, and he's going to be sacked. Coming in backside, HDV, Hugo de Lavara Vasquez. He was a little quiet in the Stony Point game. I guess he's just resting up for this one.
Big time assist on that play by number 10, Thomas Foote. He's the edge. He's the force player on that side, Matt Sanders. And you saw him jump outside to seal and bring the quarterback back inside. He has to cut inside, and then HVV's there to clean it up.
Yeah, when you're met with Hugo de Lavara Vasquez in your face as a quarterback, it's not where you want to be.
No.
And I'm calling it right now. He'll probably get another one of those tonight.
Trips here to the near side, 1 wide right. Loss of 4, 2nd and 14. Dropping back, Lasek. Pass over the middle of the field. Got a receiver caught. 15 to the 10 to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown to Sean Castillo. And Vista Ridge getting the passing game going here against this Viper defense.
What an answer by the Ranger offense. Pressure, a little bit of pressure in the face, but able to get the throw off. And, man, Castillo does a really nice job, makes a good move. I mean, that's why he's their best receiver from what I've seen, and gets in right to the corner of the end zone and ties this game up. Really nice play by the Rangers.
That's a great play design, too. You're working on levels there. You got 2 guys on that deep route outside the hash. One of them's on a level underneath. Confuses the coverage a bit. Well-delivered football by Lasek.
Yeah, it's an answer for the Rangers that first drive, not, what you want to see as an offense. Right. First drive, home game, and you go 3 and out. But that was an answer right there for the Viper defense. And but if we know the Viper defense is going to make adjustments, kind of find what was getting them. They had 2 really nice play designs, I think, kind of sprung that with the last touchdown play, and then that tight end leak route where he just found a way to kind of be undetected up that seam, made a huge play for them. Both of those just kind of things that the Rangers have found, maybe holes in the Viper coverage, and Vipers are one of those teams that can make adjustments to that.
What's interesting on that route for a tight end, if you have somebody playing in a 6 technique or somewhere out on the outside shoulder, you don't want to give the guy a free release. But depending on the blitz package and what they're doing up front, if the tight end gets a free release there, it's really Katie bar the door.
Yeah.
And your blitzing linebackers don't have time to get there. So good job by the Vista Ridge Rangers. They take the ball 75 yards in 7 plays. Good diversity there on the mix between run and pass, but the bulk of the yardage coming through the air.
Marcos Nagaglione, who knocked that extra point through, has the ball in the tee to kick it over to the Vipers here with 4:11 to go in the first quarter, and he squibs it along the ground. That's a live, picked up at the 15-yard line, up to the 20, cuts it up to the 25, and spins free. Now look, and actually lost ground back to the 19-yard line. Tough break there. Ontario Jackman, good to see him back out in the field.
Ontario Jackman looked like he had something a little bit here on the right side, but as he spun out, decided to go left. And sometimes when you get up from a spin move like that and you're still alive, you just kind of go wherever your body's kind of taking you already. There was a ton of space on the right side, just didn't see it, and falls backwards a little bit. So
quite an athletic move just to stay on his feet. I don't know that anyone in this broadcast booth could have stayed on their feet in that situation. Matt, maybe you. You're
maybe, a couple years ago. We'll see. I'm slowly just depleting my athleticism as I gain years.
So Vipers take over first down and 10 at the 19-yard line. One receiver left, two to the near side. Teodecki with the handoff to Moore, picks his way up the middle and going to be stacked up at about the 21-yard line, maybe the 22. They'll give him 3 yards. Second down and 7 coming up.
Carter Manning looks like he's a little bit angered by the fact that he had to sit out that game 2 weeks ago. He's ready to get back in the action.
Yeah, good to see him back. He's such a huge piece of this offensive line. And with, Chase Springer out this week, definitely needed him back. Can't be down 2 of your key offensive linemen and expect the unit to move. And they're playing really good tonight.
Second down and 7. Give a shout out to my mom tuned in from the great state of Illinois. Enjoying some Viper football. Low snap. Teodecki picks it up off the carpet. Rolls to his left. Fires over to the near side. Caught at the 33-yard line. Nice job coming across the field. Brock Shilton to bail out his quarterback because Teodecki was about to be in a world of hurt.
What great presence there in the pocket, and I think he felt that pressure. He slides to the right side of the pocket. He saw that defender. We get a
Nate Cochran, I think, was closing fast.
Yeah, Nate closing fast. Under duress there, delivered a very accurate football.
Home side of the stadium, jam-packed. Nice crowd across the way for Vipers fans. First down and 10 at the Vandegrift 33. 3:08 to go first quarter. Teodecki swings it out right side. Looking for running room and not going to find much. Going to lose a couple of yards. They swung it out to Thomas Beekler, but Vista Ridge is ready for it. First man there, Cameron Lasik. That's not Cameron Lasik.
It's number 40, Wyatt Porowski, senior.
Yeah, what a play by that linebacker right there. Immediately recognizes the screenplay. Beekler is, we've seen him make that first man miss so many times. He's so good at kind of those immediate jukes after the catch. And there's just it doesn't have any chance to do that there. Really nice play by the Ranger defender.
Loss of 4, second and 14, back at the 29-yard line. 2 receivers left, one on the near side. Dropping back, Teodecki, pass. In and out of the hands of Beekler. Had it for a second, but good coverage there. Breaking it up was Carson Miller. And it'll bring up a third down and 14 with 2:20 to go in the opening quarter.
Third and long, and accurate football again, delivered on a line by Mr. Teodecki. You got to want that one back if you're the Beak. You want to have that. You want to reel that one in.
That back, and that's one of those catches that you're kind of relying on Beekler to make because he's now a feature point of this offense. So just couldn't hang on.
Third and 14 from the 29-yard line. One receiver left, 2 to the near side. Shilton goes in motion. So 2 receivers to either side. Teodecki dropping back, looking. Fires, caught at the 43-yard line. Going to be very near the first down marker and stretching forward is Beekler to pick it up.
There we go. That's the respawn for the Beak.
Redemption. 101. We talk.
Goes right back to him.
Yeah, we talk up here in the booth about how they need to make those catches. It's not as easy as it look when you're running over the middle in a pack of defenders.
Averaging 12.2 yards per catch, and he picks up a huge first down there. Bails out the Vipers from a third and long.
I love the confidence Teo has in his wide receiver there, senior wide receiver, where he just had a drop on a big play for the first down. He goes right back to him, and Beekler shows, hey, I'm still here. I'm still going to make a big catch and get that first down for my team.
2 receivers left, 2 to the near side. Beekler swings it out left side, lunging and making the catch at the 40. Incomplete. Great effort out there by Ontario Jackman, the junior wide receiver.
Looked like he had it from our point of view up here, but must have just hit the carpet.
Yep. Second and 10.
I think they gave him the catch because they moved the ball to the other side of the field.
That is interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. I saw the
so did I.
Signal incomplete, and then they moved the ball.
Yeah, we were on the right hash, and they've got the ball now on the left.
High school officiating sometimes.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Okay, looks like they've realized what they've done.
Yeah, because he got it out to the 46-yard line if it was a catch. Now it's going to be a timeout.
Okay.
Well, we didn't get a chance to talk about it in the pregame, but these are the standings coming in tonight. Vista Ridge and Hutto tied at 2-0. Vipers at 1-0, a half a game back, coming off their bye week. Round Rock, Cedar Ridge, and McNeil all 1-1. Maynard 0-1. Stony Point and Westwood 0-2. Westwood is taking on Maynard tonight. The other games, that's on Vype. Maynard taking on Westwood, that's on Vype. And Cedar Ridge against Round Rock also on Vype. So those are your standings coming in tonight. That's why this is a big game. Second down and 10 from the 44. Hand off to Brown. And he breaks the tackle, pushes it across the 45 out to the 47, picked up 3, sets up a 3rd and 7 here from the Viper 47.
Looks like the officials no timeout was taken from either team, so it was an official timeout and respotted the ball on the right hash there, so it was an incomplete pass.
Right.
Got that figured out, which is good. Saw the OC for Vandegrift, Coach Woolley, be a little upset about where they spotted initially, so glad they got that figured out.
And now the official's coming in again. Now we'll get a timeout.
We'll get a Vandegrift timeout here.
Timeout. You were just predicting the future again, Matt.
Yeah, now the timeout's here. Now we're going to talk about the play. And it's, I believe it's about 3rd and about 7 here, and this is a big 3rd down. You just had the Rangers go on a long drive and score on your defense. Momentum has now kind of felt like it's behind the winds of this Ranger ship right now. So you need this first down to kind of keep this drive alive, keep momentum going, and to get some sort of points to answer what the Rangers just did on offense.
Well stated, Matt Sanders. I mean, I tell you what, the crucial play earlier in the drive, 3rd and 14, you managed to convert that on the big completion from Tiadecki to Beekler.
Yeah.
Here you are in a 3rd and 7. This is a big play early in the game.
Yeah, and we've seen them already on this drive complete a big 3rd down, so very confident in what this offense can do. And I like calling a timeout in moments like this. Sometimes, especially in the first half, a lot of the times you're not going to need all 3 of those timeouts, so I love calling it early, making that decision to kind of like, hey, we recognize how big this down is.
Right.
Let's make a call.
So 3rd and 7, 1:12 to go. 2 receivers left, 2 to the near side. Chilton comes in motion right to left. Play action pass, looking. Dumps it off over the middle and incomplete. Going to bring up a 4th down. Receiver leaping a little bit early there. Chase Phillips, the senior, just mistimed the jump a little bit, and the Vipers will have to punt it away.
Tight window there, and a great job defensively by the Vista Ridge defense. Very disciplined football team, so it's a little bit like looking at yourself in the mirror. I mean, This is in the same part of town here in Austin. A lot of these guys on the field right now know each other, played each other in baseball, football, basketball growing up.
While the Olsen averaging 43.3 yards per punt with a long of 59. And this is another beauty into the twilight sky. Dropped into the end zone. And that'll be a touchback. Fortunately for the Rangers, Kieran Pagel got back on the football, so they'll take over 1st down and 10 at the 20.
That's the time where you, as a Vipers fan, you want it to take one of those weird bounces, but the ball bounced right back up into his hand and averted disaster.
Yeah, almost, about to say that myself, almost disastrous for the Rangers there. You just got the ball back, muffed the punt a little bit. As the Vipers, they're screaming down to go get that, but are able to recover it and get a nice touchback. So they're set up on the 20 on their own territory going into the Viper territory now. Still tied 7-7 with about 57 seconds left in this first quarter.
A couple of district scores. Westwood over Manor 7-0 early, although I think they may have just scored again. Stony Point leading McNeil 14-0. Let's see if we can get a Cedar Ridge Round Rock score here at some point. 1st and 10, Rangers at the 20-yard line. Trips wide right, Lasik in the shotgun. Hands it off up the middle and wrapped up and dropped after just a couple of yard pickup.
What a great play. Who is that masked man?
That's
that man,
Hugo.
Hugo again. And you talk about the defensive line play there, Matt, is he takes that inside move, scrapes straight down the line of scrimmage from that left defensive end spot and catches the guy before he gets to the line of scrimmage from the other side of the line. Great effort by Hugo.
Textbook defensive end play, and that just shows his length as well, able to reach across there and suck that running back up. Really nice play by DBB.
2nd down and 8 from the 22. Lasik in the shotgun, coming in motion is Ben Reed. And handoff up the middle and swallowed up again at about the 24-yard line after a 2-yard pickup. A helmet comes off, and one of the Hog Mollies has to come off the field for Vista Ridge.
Hugo and Thomas Foote, number 10, linebacker, combining to nullify that short gain.
Clock has stopped here with 13 seconds. I'm not sure. Now it's starting to wind, maybe because of the helmet coming off.
Yeah, I think they had to stop it there to get the player off the field. And it looks like both Rangers kind of coming to the sideline here, going to take this to the second quarter.
Yep.
As this is another big 3rd down here, about 3rd and 7, a mirror of what we just saw for the Vipers that the Rangers have to pick up to keep this drive alive.
So we'll take a break, be back for quarter number 2. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Floor Coverings International in Lakeway makes shopping for your new flooring easy. Floor Coverings International carries a full assortment of flooring to fit the purpose of the room, your lifestyle, and budget. Locally owned by Kevin Temple and family, Floor Coverings International offers free in-home consultation with a design associate. At Floor Coverings International in Lakeway, our goal is making your home flooring project a positive and convenient customer experience. Visit us today in Lakeway or online at lakeway.floorcoveringsinternational.com.
Welcome back. Teams of flip sides of the field here. 7-7 ball game. Vipers scoring first. Vista Ridge with a good answer. And Vista Ridge now going from left to right in the home Reds, facing a 3rd down and 6 from their own 24-yard line.
Such a big 3rd down for this Viper defense. You just gave up a long drive touchdown. This is your moment early in the game to reestablish yourself and show this Ranger defense it ain't going to be that easy again.
Well, 7-all, everybody's held serve so far in the second quarter. So, Matt Sanders, I think you're exactly right. I mean, this is an opportunity to shift that momentum back in your favor. I haven't been overwhelmed by the Vista Ridge punting game, so maybe force them into a punt here, get the ball in a decent field position.
Beautiful night here in Austin. Game time temperature low 90s. Trips here to the near sides. 3rd and 6 from the 24. Lasik in the shotgun. Takes a snap, looking, fires over to the right side, complete out to the 30-yard line. Good for a 1st down and more to the 37. There's that guy again, Mason Keene, the tight end. He's really hurt the Vipers tonight.
So that's that same play, Matt Sanders, where you're bringing pressure from that side where the tight end is, and he gets a free release into that seam. If you don't get that really early pressure there, he's always going to be open.
Yep, he just finds that soft spot in the Viper defense zone coverage there. And he just kind of sits down, quarterback finds him, and he's a big kid right there. I mean, it takes a lot to bring him down, so he rumbles forward for a couple extra yards there and gets the Rangers right back on track with another 1st and 10.
At their own 38-yard line. Lasik dropping back. Rangers pick up the pressure. Now the pocket breaks down. Hit as he throws in the pass a little bit low. Nice job of the line for a while, but eventually you got just too many horses coming in there. Jake Venuto, who Coach talked about in the pregame show, got in there and applied the pressure there to Lasik.
Hugo did a great job that time, collapsing the pocket. Took a hard inside move. That might have been a completion if he doesn't get there to disrupt the throw.
Yeah, really nice job, and I love bringing in a little extra pressure there. Sure. Thomas Foote comes in as well to kind of speed up the process of this quarterback. You need to get this quarterback kind of uncomfortable back here. He's had a little bit too much time on this drive, and I want to see the Vipers continue to heat him up.
Trips wide left, one to the near side. Lasik in the gun. Dropping back, swings it out left side, complete up to the 40 and to the 45. Makes a cut back out to the 47-yard line. Vipers digging for the football. Looks like they're going to keep him a yard shy of the 1st down. Deshaun Castillo, who caught the touchdown pass earlier. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 1.
Well, he's a nifty runner after the catch. Does a really good job getting upfield quick burst, fluid hips. Luckily that didn't go for more. Number 0, Griffin Gore's back on the tackle, the hitting machine.
And the hitting machine 2.0 coming in here. New model.
3rd and 1 from the 47-yard line. Lasik, handoff, right side, cutting it back up, and going to be, depending on the spot, I think, Sizatowski got just enough. But man, it's close where the officials are coming in.
Yeah, we'll see what they decide to give it. There's a flip to the 4. Looks like they might say he's a bit short there.
He's short,
the Vipers,
short. The usual suspects on the tackle. Thomas Foote, number 10, senior linebacker. Hugo in there as well.
Really nice job.
Also number 94, Gavin Law.
Well, I'm not seeing a punter here.
Oh, now it is. Punter is back there.
Punter is back.
This is perfect territory for a fake. So
yes,
I'm sure the Viper defense needs to be keyed in here. It's 4th and an inch. You usually don't see, in modern football, coaches punting it in this situation right on the 50. Let's see what they decide to do here.
Especially when their offense is moving the football. They might try to get the Vipers to jump here. Play clock is down to 0.
Yeah. You're exactly right, Merle, with the hard count there.
Now they took a delay. I'm really surprised by this whole sequence.
I am too.
I'm not a fan at all of taking the delay there. Some people are like, let's just see if we can draw them off sides, take the delay, and then we're punting anyway. But, you're right on the 50. you're kind of a dog in this game as the Rangers. That's a perfect moment to take a risk there.
Yep.
Get momentum back. Your offense was moving the ball. It's an inch. We got to have a play for an inch. I don't agree with taking the delay there at all.
Yeah, nobody is going to criticize the coach for going for it on 4th down and inches. As that punt is going to sail inside the 10. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Can they control it? Boy, oh boy.
They sure did.
How many times have we seen the Vipers do just this, down at the 1-yard line?
All right, well, maybe.
Great job, special teams
that punt
play.
made me not look the
The
smartest
Vista
there as they
Ridge.
got the Vipers fit inside the 1-yard line.
It's interesting, Matt Sanders, you made that comment about modern football and the proliferation of going for it on these 4th and shorts, and the influx of analytics into the play calls on these 4th and short situations where you go with the numbers. You see coaches carrying cards now about the the percentages that you make that you can make in the 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and then on 4th and an inch. I agree with you, Matt. I think you go for it there, but it sure worked out for them as the Vipers are pinned deep.
Yeah, I mean, even in high school football, they have analytics for every situation on their likelihood to get it.
Vipers have it at the 3, a little bit further out from the goal line than I thought, but still dangerous position here for Vandegrift. 1st and goal, or 1st and 10 from their own 3. Old school I, and Teodecki is just going to push it forward himself up to the 5, get him a few extra yards of breathing room.
Yeah, just getting a little extra space there. You obviously don't love to start the drive with a quarterback sneak, but when you're this backed up, it just gives you a couple extra yards to breathe.
Yeah.
And now you're about 5 yards out from that end zone line, and that makes a huge difference on what plays you can call. You're a little less afraid of giving up a safety or getting a negative run for a safety. So now you can kind of open up your playbook a little bit more here with that extra couple yards.
2nd down and 8 from the 5. Teodecki hands it off to Moore, right side, trying to get the corner, turn to the 10 to the 15, look out, shoved out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Man, he was about a half a step away from taking that one, 95 yards.
Oh, great run that time. What a great burst of speed. Matt, going back to that previous play on the quarterback sneak, as a center and everyone operating out of the shotgun these days, how difficult it is when you go under center, because that quarterback sneak on 1st down, you're under center, and I mean, that's like Haley's Comet. We see it so rarely. How difficult it is to make that transition going under the center with the quarterback.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you definitely have to practice. And as a center myself, it's one of those every practice you have a small moment where you're going to do that snap a couple times just to make sure you got it down when you need it for game day.
1st down 10 at the 27-yard line. Hand off again to Moore. This time Vista Ridge swallows him up. Maybe a yard or 2 on the play. 2nd down and 9 coming up.
But again, you go back to that last play. What a run by Moore. Really gets the Vipers out of trouble here. Now they're set up in about, normal field position to start a drive. And, man, he was about one step away from housing that. I was about to start saying, whoa, Nelly, as he was off to the races.
Running again on the right side there. Carter Manning is taking total control over that side of the line of scrimmage.
Nate Cochran with that previous stop. 2nd down and 9. Teodecki in the gun, 2 receivers left side, 1 wide right. Hand off to Brown now. He's going to take it off right tackle and push it up to about the 30. He's going to set up a 3rd and 7 here for the Vipers at their own 30-yard line. 7:19 and counting in the first half, knotted up 7 apiece.
Another big 3rd down here. Another 3rd and 7. Keep finding these offenses in these 3rd and longs in the second quarter as the Vipers going to have to kind of reach in here and find another one of those 3rd and long plays to keep this drive alive. You've come so far from being on that one. You don't want to kind of let this drive stall out now. You want to keep the momentum, capitalize off that big stop your defense just got you on that 4th and 1.
1 receiver right, 2 to the near side. 3rd down and 7 from the 30. Receiver coming in motion right to left. Dropping back, Teodecki looking left, fires underneath, and a sliding catch made at the 43-yard line. Thomas Beekler again bails him out and picks up the 1st down.
What a great catch there is you've got to go get the football in that situation. The throw was low, going to the inside there. Does a great job keeping his eyes on the football. Watch the point, grab the fat, 1st down Vipers.
Teo's mad, though, because he has some running room if he's able to catch that in stride. But got the completion, got the 1st down. That's the main thing.
Keep those chains moving.
1st down Vipers at the 42. Hand off left side, Moore. He's going to pick his way up to about the 44, maybe, a couple of yards, 2nd down and 8. Just not quite getting enough on the 1st down play.
Whole pack of, I don't even know, a gang of Rangers, a coalition, an organization of Rangers there.
Posse of Rangers?
Posse,
there we go. Posse Rangers there, not much room at all as the run goes for no gain.
very disciplined defense. The Vista Ridge Rangers has impressed me the way they stay in their lanes, they stay in their gaps.
Yes.
They're very efficient.
We got a little monster formation. And
it cost Vista Ridge a timeout. They're like, what the heck is this? Vipers didn't pick up anything on the first play. I thought he picked up a couple of yards, but what's the name for that formation, Matt?
Swinging gate.
Yeah, I think that's the swinging gate. Some people call it, I guess polecats when you got the 3 offensive linemen spread out. It's one of those, I've seen people call it kind of monster. As a Cowboys fan, anytime I just see one center and a quarterback, it haunts me from when we had Zeke line up at center and he snapped back and we lost that playoff game. So that, but when you get in a weird formation like that, it just.
Wow, Matt, it sounds like you are you waking up at night in a cold sweat? And
I do think about that there's a lot of games I can think about the Cowboys that wake me up at night.
Absolutely.
But that was one of those things. You get in those weird formations, and we haven't seen that this year, so they haven't seen it on film either. And so you have 3 timeouts. Why not take it like, all right, hold up. What are they about to do? Let's make sure we're adjusted for that. Hey, if they do come out and do that again, this is what we're going to do. And that's what they're kind of talking about right now.
Yeah.
But I doubt the Vipers go right back to it.
As the chess match continues, the Vipers come out in a standard formation, twins right.
Westwood McNeil still 7-0 Warriors. Stony Point has increased the lead over McNeil 21-7. Good game out in Aggieland. Anderson and A&M consolidated, tied up 7 apiece. Second down and 10 from the 43-yard line. Low snap, Tierecki gets it off the carpet, fires one to the right side, caught wide open. Spin move by Chilton inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line. Great. Nice pitch and catch, but an even better move there by Brock Chilton.
Great pitch, great catch. What a nice little pirouette to the outside by Chilton. First down, Vipers.
Starting to look like that opening drive here. Low snap again. And Tierecki's just going to take it himself. And good second effort. Gets him inside the 35 to the 33. The rugby scrum pushing it down there.
Yeah, again, we have a first-time starter at center.
Right.
So that's one of those things, okay, you just had a low snap, and then you go hurry up. No one's had an opportunity there to tell him, hey, your snap's low. So you see another low snap. There's no adjustment there. So I know immediately right now there was already probably a conversation between team like, hey, after that play, your snap's low. And Tio makes a great heads-up play. That's a, as veteran as you can get at the high school level, this guy's a returning starter after playing, 15 games. And he just decides, hey, I don't have time to do my handoff here. I'm just going to take it and get a couple extra yards. So really heads-up play by Tierecki. And that's kind of where that, returning starter, veteran-type senior presence you get from your quarterback. Really nice job to not create a disaster there on that low snap.
Vipers take a timeout. Actually turned into one of the better first-down plays of the night with a 4-yard pickup. 4:47 to go here in this first half. Vipers and the Rangers 7-7.
Really interesting formation that they came out before that timeout. You had 2 tight ends in the game. Your number 1 tight end is number 18, Arnav Sagi, and then also number 48, the sophomore, Alex Paulson, 6'2", 215. Got quite a few sophomores who are getting some serious playing time this year, guys.
Yeah.
The future looks bright. The cupboard is full.
Yeah, you loved it. It's such a big deal to play and contribute as a sophomore in 6A Texas football. And normally, like in years past, Vandegrift never really had too many of those young stars, and it was always like, okay, we're a team of seniors. Next year, we replace everybody, a whole new team of seniors, just because it. But now you kind of see as this program continues to be built up and get better and better, we just start having guys who are ready earlier, and it's great to have those guys who are returners on your team.
Second down and 4 from the 34. Handoff up the middle, and Sam Brown going to push it down to the 31, maybe the 30-yard line. Going to set up a 3rd and 3, probably in 4-down territory here.
I think so. So at that time, you shift into that exact same formation. Yep. You start out with twins to both sides. The guys on the right were both tight ends. The 2 guys we mentioned earlier, they shift into that slot, so just trying to overwhelm him at the point of attack.
Big 3rd down here. 3rd and a long 3 from the Ranger 31. 2 receivers right, 1 to the near side, just off the line. Coming in motion now right to left. That's Tyler Salos. Swing pass right side complete. Oh, off the fingertips. Boy, he'd like to have that one back. Justin Moore, the little wheel right out of the backfield. He was off to the races, but he forgot one thing.
Yeah, that would have been a difficult catch. I think Tierecki would have liked to put that right at the top of the number 3 there in stride, but just a little bit high. Catchable, but that would have been a really good catch.
Especially for a running back. You're swinging out in the flat. He's moving full speed. And that had some zip to it, too. It's definitely a tough catch there. Now the Vipers going for it on 4th down.
At the 31-yard line. Rangers fans making noise. Teodecki dropping back. Pocket breaks down. Given ground. Steps free. Got a receiver wide open behind the defense. Caught. 10, 5. Touchdown, Vandegrift. Now Sagi, the tight end, got lost behind the secondary.
Wow, thank you very much, Miles Teodecki. What amazing pocket presence there. Under some pressure, trying to innovate, trying to create outside the pocket. And to have his eyes downfield, we see that every week with this guy, number 12. He keeps his eyes downfield. Presence of mind, doesn't cross the line of scrimmage. You saw him pull up there, so he didn't cross the line of scrimmage and finds a wide open tight end. Always love it when that tight end scores.
I mean, so far I feel like tight ends are just finding a way to get wide open.
Yeah.
But on both sides of the offense, really nice job by Asagi there. And I love how, as a tight end in a moment like that, he just kind of has to relax and wait for the football. He's like, I'm not chancing anything here. I'm just going to sit right here, wait for it. And then almost got caught there. He's not the fastest guy, but he's a big tight end. He's sure-handed, and he's going to find his way to the end zone. Really nice play.
Caught the first Viper score to start the season at Dripping Springs on the road tonight. Catches number 2. And a great job, we didn't really talk about it, but a great job by the offensive lineman. Not drifting downfield as Teodecki was kind of scrambling around there. It'd be so easy to think he's going to take off.
That's a really good point, Merle, because as we know, some offensive linemen, including the guy to my right here, like to headhunt a little bit when you're blocking. So, you've got to maintain that discipline. And a great job by Sagi there, number 18. Matt, you alluded to it. He has the presence of mind. He didn't get too excited, waited for the football, look, reach, catch, tuck, and then, most importantly, score.
Yeah.
Did a good job getting upfield quickly.
Did everything he needed to do. And it's hard. It takes skill as a wide receiver to continue to kind of move with your quarterback and give him an opportunity to give you the football.
Right.
There's a lot of wide receivers who kind of run their route, see their quarterback maybe run into the other side of the field or wherever and just kind of give up on their route. That's a really nice play by a senior to continue to move and get in open space for his quarterback to find him if he can get out of trouble.
Olsen set to kick it away. 3:56 to go. Vipers back on top, 14-7. And it's a short, high kick, returnable. At the 5, up to the 10, to the 15, far side of the 20. Nice little seam, spins across the 25, hit from behind and falls forward to the 28-yard line. Pretty nifty return there by the Ranger running back, or return man Will Johnson, speaking of sophomores.
Parker Davis, your starting safety and special teams, keeping the special and special teams.
We got our first flag of the night, and it comes with 3:48 to go here in the first half, and a very clean football game.
Both of these teams, we talked about this a little bit. Both of their brands of football is very, limited mistakes. They believe in their systems.
Right. The penalty marked off against the Rangers. That'll wipe out most of that return. And they will start.
Is that a 10-yard penalty?
Yeah, I believe it was a hold on the return there.
They're going to push them all the way back inside the 10 to about the 9 instead of the 27.
And I guess it was marked where they saw the hold at, and then 10 yards from that.
Right. Yeah.
So, man, that really backs you up inside the 10. Right. Way different than about the 30-yard line for your starting field position.
A huge momentum shift.
Really nice setup for the Viper defense here.
Here's that time of game. Get a stop, maybe get some points before halftime to get the ball to start the second half.
That's that final 4 minutes.
It's like the Formula Lake TV.
Yeah, get the football at the half.
The middle eight.
So Zitowski lined up to the left side. They're going to give it to the receiver on the end around, cutting it back up at the 10, and breaks the tackle out to the 15-yard line. Gets them out of trouble. Nice job by Deshaun Castillo. That turned into about a 12-yard pickup.
Almost gets all that penalty yardage back right there. Really nice play. And he is such a good athlete in space. And all tonight, I mean, that's why he's kind of their leading wide receiver. He makes so many plays. He's really good in space, makes people miss.
Great strength, lower body strength there. Gavin Law had him dead to rights for almost no gain. Manages to run through that tackle.
And that's a defensive nose guard you're running through there, so really nice play.
Out to the 22-yard line. Castillo on the season, 12 catches for 156 yards and a touchdown coming in. He's got 1 touchdown tonight. 1st and 10 at the Ranger 22 with 3:40 to go first half. Lasik going to try it again. No play action this time. Dump it off underneath. Complete to the 20 of the 25. Out to the 30. Upended it at the 35-yard line. They swing it out to Sizitowski after faking the end around again with Castillo.
That's a little screen pass.
Yeah.
Well executed by Vista Ridge again. the X's and O's we're seeing from the Vista Ridge coaching staff are really impressive. Well-designed play when you've got that intense pressure that the Vipers are known for. A screen pass here and there can be very effective.
1st and 10, Rangers at their own 36. On the move here with 3:16 to go. Lasik going to swing it out to Castillo on the left side, complete to the 35, out across the 40, and tripped up at the 42-yard line. But another 6 or 7 yard pickup. Parker Davis, the linebacker, chasing him down. Not easy to do. 2nd and 4 coming up.
Such a huge tackle by Parker Davis there. There's a ton of space, and that just shows that kind of senior returning linebacker making a nice play and saving what could have been honestly a 10 or 15-yard gain, just making that a 6.
Vista Ridge matriculating in their own way. I guess if you start inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah. 2 receivers left, 2 to the near side. 2nd down and 4 from the 42-yard line. Laser swings it out right side and incomplete.
Dangerous
little bit too high.
Dangerous throw.
Kieran Pagel, the intended target.
Real quick, let's go back to the scoring drive summary for the Vipers, your Texas Family Physicians scoring drive summary on that previous TD. 9 plays, 97 yards down the field for a touchdown to your tight end, number 18, Arnav Sagi.
And it didn't take long.
It didn't take long at all. A lot of big chunk plays there. Big run, a big run by Justin Moore. Great receptions by Thomas Beekler.
Big play here, 3rd and 4, chance to get off the field. 3rd and 4 from the 42-yard line. Lasik dropping back. Vipers bringing the pressure, setting it, and it is. Almost intercepted.
Goodness.
So they're going for a middle screen there.
Parker Davis almost had him one.
I think he had his eyes on the end zone. But it was
a
a really good play by the running back from Vista Ridge to knock it out of there. But again, they're trying to take advantage of that withering pressure from Vandegrift, set up a little middle screen there, and it looks like if they would have managed to complete that, Parker Davis obviously had other thoughts, but that's one of the answers that the good coaching staff will come up with against a fearsome rush by the Vipers.
Now Gaglione set to punt it away, and he's going to kick it over to Brock Chilton. Chilton's just going to pick it up in the bounce at the 15, up to the 20. Good return, up to the 30. About a 10-yard return out to the 27-yard line. 2:08 to go. Vipers have, looks like, 1 timeout left plus a 2-minute timeout. And a good kicker if they can get some points on the board before halftime.
Still not used to that 2-minute timeout.
Me neither.
It feels like we're in the pros now with these 2-minute timeouts. But I love it. It creates a little more drama at the end of the half, especially at the end of the game. That's why I love watching NFL football, because the end of the games get so back and forth because of that 2-minute stoppage. And I love bringing it to high school football. It just creates more of the madness you love between the halves. So really, really fun that they added that. And again, shout out that last play, Parker Davis. That's a senior linebacker recognizing a play and just deciding to make a play on his own, triggering in and forcing a stop there. Really nice job by him.
Diodeke handoff up the middle and knocked down almost immediately. A loss of a yard there on the play for Sam Brown. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 12.
Still having some difficulties, Matt Sanders, with that snap. You got a new starter in there.
Yeah.
And it's disrupts the timing on the handoff. It disrupts the timing up front on what you're doing with the blocking and where you're taking the guys. I mean, it's definitely one of the things they want to clean up as we go into the end of the first half here.
We'll take a break for the final 2 minutes. Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
On the field, defense is everything. At Austin Dental Company, we got you protected the same way.
We accept dental insurance, and we also have in-house memberships.
Regular checkups keep you in the game.
Cosmetics and Invisalign.
For championship smiles. Whether it's game day or any day, we got your smile covered.
Dr. Martin Molina and his staff welcome you to Texas Family Physicians at River Place. Texas Family Physicians provides comprehensive family medical care for men, women, and children of all ages. They specialize in adult and pediatric preventative care, hypertension, diabetes, sports medicine, and seasonal allergies, just to name a few. They also offer Impact Certified baseline and post-injury concussion testing and treatment in office. Visit Texas Family Physicians online at texasfp.com. Texas Family Physicians at River Place. texasfp.com.
Right back to it after the 2-minute timeout. Second down and 11 for the Vipers at the 26-yard line. Low snap. Teodecki dumps it off over the middle, complete to the 35, out to the 37, very near the first down marker. Brock Chilton
again.
Yeah, yard shy though, 3rd and 1.
Finding his main man. And again,
sure
as
hands.
Hank was saying earlier, these snaps are continuously low. And it's so hard as a center, especially a new center, to kind of figure that out and figure out how to adjust your snaps. It takes a long time, a lot of practice to finally hone down, like how to adjust it if you need to raise it up, if it's going to right or left. And it looked really good early in the game, but now as the game kind of goes on, you get more tired. The snaps aren't as crisp. So
3rd and 1, handoff right side. Braun breaks across the 40, lowers his shoulder and bangs it out to the 43. Needed 1, picked up 8. First down, Vipers.
That guy is just not satisfied, number 40 Sam Brown, unless he runs somebody over.
Vipers going quickly. Chains are moving. 1:12, clock moving. 1 timeout remaining. A low snap again. Handoff. Brown tripped up as he tried to make a cut. Back to the line of scrimmage. We might see a timeout here. Let's see. Nope, they're going to try to hustle back and get another one off.
It just makes it so hard to get that handoff timed correctly. Teodecki's having to kind of squat down to catch these low snaps. And again, first time he's ever played center in a varsity game, getting a start here tonight. And snaps were looking so crisp early on.
Yeah.
And then as the game goes on, I've been there before, you just start to worry about so many other things. What's my blocking assignment? What am I supposed to be doing? I'm tired, and the snaps just can lower in quality because of all those factors.
Teodecki in the shotgun. 30 seconds left in the half. Chilton goes in motion. Play action. Going for Chilton. Up the right sideline. Covered well and overthrown. Great coverage downfield for Vista Ridge.
Number 8, Calvin Jupe.
Calvin Jupe, yeah.
Step for step there. Looks like we've got a new left guard, guys. It's number 79, another sophomore. That is Isaac Scott.
Young.
I mean, out of all the positions where you see sophomores on, getting some playing time in 6A football, the offensive line seems to be like one of the most unlikely.
Yeah.
3rd down and 10 coming up from the 43-yard line. 24 ticks left on the clock. 2 receivers in a stack to the near side, 1 wide right. Now they split out somebody here to the near side. Teodecki looking left, firing left. That ball is, did he make the catch?
He
made the
sure
catch at
did.
the 48, but he stayed in bounds. And I think we're getting a timeout here, a couple yards shy.
What an amazing catch right there.
Clock's ticking down, 4th down.
Number 20, Marshall Lindenberger extends and manages to reel that one in.
What a catch. It's 4th down. Clock is ticking at the end of the half, and looks like the Vipers just kind of want to take this. Oh, they're going to take one timeout to kind of tee up a little shot play here.
Yeah.
And the Vipers have a pretty deep bag of tricks here, so I'm not expecting a typical Hail Mary. Maybe
a little hook and ladder.
Maybe a flea flicker. Let's see what they've got cooking up here. Going to take a timeout to figure that one out. But Vipers, and that is crazy what Hank said earlier. Sophomore offensive lineman getting some playing time, Isaac Scott. But he's not a sophomore size, not our biggest offensive lineman, but he's 6 foot, 225 as a sophomore. I hit that weight and height my junior year, and I was one of the most, not the biggest guy in our offensive line, and I was a junior, so a little ahead of schedule than where I was at when I was playing here. It's kind of crazy how I thought I was big at that weight, and that now he's kind of our lightest offensive lineman right now. It's just the level of kind of size and talent has just grown.
Yeah, it's really amazing
as the program grows.
It's really amazing.
Cool to see.
I mean, Merle, the first season we did, I mean, we were not that big up front. I mean, in that game against Stony Point, we had 5 offensive linemen averaging 285.
Mm-hmm.
So, got maybe some guys banged up. Next man up.
So here we go. Trips here to the near side. One receiver wide right. And Rangers coaches trying to get their defense to drop back. Teodecki all day to throw. He's got to step up and fire towards the end zone. Good hang time. Jump ball. Caught to the 5. Can't quite get it in. Thomas Biegler caught it just
2-yard line. Oh, my goodness. It was a typical Hail Mary. Teodecki gets it almost to the end zone there. Biegler does a great job eyeing the ball, makes an adjustment, makes the catch, and just, gets tackled right before scoring there. That would have been an insane play in the half, but, I mean,
Good arm strength right there.
For stats, I'm sure the Beak's not too upset about getting a nice 50-yard catch there. So
we got one of the assistant coaches for Southwestern. That looked a lot like the end of the first half last week against TLU, coming up just shy on a Hail Mary. What a first half of football, 14-7. Vipers on top. Been a good defensive struggle, and the Vipers made it look so early. And then Vista Ridge made it look early. You could just see the chess match playing out.
Well, it's been a very clean football game. Only one penalty in that entire first half. There was a holding call on that kickoff return that pushed the Vista Ridge back inside, started on their own 9-yard line there. But a lot of talking points in this game. It's a highly competitive game against two very technically sound football teams, well coached. It's anybody's game at 14-7 at the halftime.
Yeah, what a way to end the half. Don't get the touchdown, but I love the aggressiveness to go for a shot there. I want to shout out Isaac Scott on that play. We talked about a sophomore offensive lineman. I don't know if you all saw it, but he got a nasty pancake block in the pass protection there. Love to see the young guy getting in and getting nasty. We'll hear the nasty song later, but I like to think that's the mindset you need to come in as a young offensive lineman, getting your feet wet a little bit, getting a nice pancake, and protecting your quarterback. Nice job, young man. And that was – I just love to see that. So I thought that was a solid half of football. It's been more competitive than I thought. I thought these Rangers are here to play, and I think it's going to be a good game all the way through. So excited to see what the Vipers can do when they get the ball out of half.
Yeah, they're 4-0 for a reason. We're going to take a quick break. When we're going to come back, we're going to hear the Vandegrift Vipers marching band who run their regional round as they make their way towards another state appearance. I believe Vista Ridge is in the top 3 as well, along with Cedar Park. So Leander ISD well represented as they march towards, I guess, the state coming up in a couple of weeks. But we'll take a break and be right back. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Texas Malibu is your exclusive dealer for the world's best-selling water sports towboats. Malibu. We are now the largest dealer for Malibu boats worldwide with locations in Austin, Marble Falls, Texas Ski Ranch in New Braunfels, and now Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Visit the enthusiasts at any of our locations or online at texasmalibu.com to pick out your family's dream boat and make memories on the water that will last a lifetime.
All right, Vandy fans, it's quiz time with Tiff's Treats. Question: how many wins did the Vipers rack up last season? 13? 14? 15? If you answered 15, congrats, you're a true Vandy Viper fanatic. And to celebrate our 6A Division II state champion Vipers and the greatness of the 2025 season, we're giving you 15% off your next order of Tiff's Treats warm cookies. Just use code VANDY15 at cookiedelivery.com. Warm cookies baked to order and delivered to the door. Tiff's Treats.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
Card My Yard. When good news comes your way, skip the card and stake the yard. It's the easiest way to decorate for any celebration. We do all the work for you. Book your order online and we'll set up the surprise and take down the decorations afterwards. Grand opening, anniversary, or any special occasion. Card My Yard. 95 franchises throughout the U.S. Now a proud sponsor of your school. Visit cardmyyard.com today.
When you buy or sell a piece of property, it helps to have a friend in the business. Independence Title will pick up the ball on your transaction and take it right across the goal line. Independence is locally owned right here in Austin with deep roots in the Vandegrift community. Independence is also the Austin Business Journal's #1 title company. Work with the home team at Independence Title. Call 329-5299 or go to independencetitle.com.
Thank you to our sponsor, Wayne Weigelt State Farm Insurance Agency, providing insurance and financial services. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, please visit www.agentwayne.com for all your insurance and financial service needs.
Family time, anytime. Always worth every dime. On our ways, chicken eat. Unbelievable, sweet tea. Express tenders, they're the best. Not to mention all the rest. Chicken E's the place to go for all of us in the know. Plenty of size to make a meal. Chicken E is for real. Follow me to Chicken E. Gotta have their sweet tea.
Viper fans, is your home in need of a refresh? Whether you want a full-service home renovation or it's time to create your dream kitchen or bathroom, A. Newman Interiors has you covered. We will use our preferred pricing with major brands to choose the most perfect furniture and finish selections for any space in your home or office. A. Newman Interiors has proudly served the Four Points community for over 10 years, and there's no better clients than our Viper fans. Call 626-310-2315 today to schedule your free consultation.
Floor Coverings International in Lakeway makes shopping for your new flooring easy. Floor Coverings International carries a full assortment of flooring to fit the purpose of the room, your lifestyle, and budget. Locally owned by Kevin Temple and family, Floor Coverings International offers free in-home consultation with a design associate. At Floor Coverings International in Lakeway, our goal is making your home flooring project a positive and convenient customer experience. Visit us today in Lakeway or online at lakeway.floorcoveringsinternational.com.
On the field, defense is everything. At Austin Dental Company, we got you protected the same way.
We accept dental insurance and we also have in-house memberships.
Regular checkup to keep you in the game.
Cosmetics and Invisalign.
For championship smiles. Whether it's game day or any day, we got your smile covered.
Dr. Martin Molina and his staff welcome you to Texas Family Physicians at River Place. Texas Family Physicians provides comprehensive family medical care for men, women, and children of all ages. They specialize in adult and pediatric preventative care, hypertension, diabetes, sports medicine, and seasonal allergies, just to name a few. They also offer impact-certified baseline and post-injury concussion testing and treatment in office. Visit Texas Family Physicians online at texasfp.com. Texas Family Physicians at River Place. texasfp.com.
And welcome back to Gupton Stadium. Merle, Hank, and Matt with you. Christina Weber, Bertrand, my better half. RQA keeping an eye and an ear on the broadcast. And just a few moments ago, Brian Spielis down the sidelines had a chance to catch up to Vipers head coach Drew Sanders. Let's hear what Coach had to say. Well, I'm going to press that one. Hold on. There we go. Let's try to call this up here. Here's Coach Sanders.
Vype Live here with Vandegrift head coach Drew Sanders. Drew, you're in a tough match with Vista Ridge right now. What are your thoughts on the first half?
I mean, we knew it'd be like this. I mean, these guys are undefeated. That's not by accident. We talked all week that they're an amazing opponent, and our guys took them seriously, and so I'm glad to see how we're playing. We're playing hard. I mean, we're making some mistakes, but I mean, it's a very, very important district game. I do like the fact that we almost completed a Hail Mary. I thought we managed the clock well, and I just didn't want to give them the ball back right before half,
Absolutely.
you know, and so that's what we did there. And defensively, we bled a little bit, but we found a way to make some stops when we needed to. And offensively is kind of hit or miss, but we have moved the ball, and so that's a positive. We've been able to run the ball, it seems, a little bit too. But we'll get in here and we'll fix what we need to. We do get the ball coming out of half, so hopefully we can come out and go down, score, and then somehow weather the storm.
All right. Well, good luck second half, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks, Brent.
All right, so there you go. We saw the arm of Miles Teodecki, the Kansas State commit, coming up just 2 yards shy of what would have been an amazing touchdown at the end of the first half. But Coach said it, guys. The Vipers get the ball to start the second half. Be really great, even to get a field goal, get two possession lead on this Vista Ridge Rangers ball club. Other than that one drive, the Viper defense has played very, very well.
Yeah.
Bend, don't break. You give up 7 points. One of the most interesting stats, as I'm putting all this together for that first half, Matt, is time of possession is very similar. Plays from scrimmage, the Vipers had 26 total plays, Vista Ridge 25. So it's a very even contest. Vipers defense getting one more stop. Key moment or key sequence in the game for me is that 97-yard touchdown drive. That's the Vipers' third possession. You take the ball in 9 plays, you go the entire length of the football field. and you score on a 28-yard touchdown pass from Miles Tiadeki to the big tight end, number 18, Arnav Sagi. So other stat lines, you've got Justin Moore with 5 carries for 59 yards. The rolling ball of Butcher Knives, number 40, Sam Brown, who he just doesn't. He's not happy, Matt, unless he hits somebody or runs somebody over. He's got 8 carries for 20 yards.
I don't even think he's happy at that point. He looks like he's angry all the time.
Yes, 8 carries for 20 tough yards, including a 3-yard touchdown run. Miles Tiadeki's carried the ball 3 times for 15 yards. No sacks in that first half. Very efficient performance from Mr. Tiadeki again through the air also. 15 attempts, 10 completions, 166 yards, and that 1 touchdown strike to number 18, Sagi. So good first half from him. From on the receiving side, you've got Brock Chilton, another workmanlike performance, sure-handed number 1. He could catch BBs in a hailstorm, I think. He's got 4 catches for 58 yards. Great performance in that first half again from Thomas Beekler. He gets his stats padded a bit with that 52-yard completion to close the half out. 2 yards shy of a touchdown.
He earned those 50 yards. It was a great catch.
I agree. And he had that 1 drop, and then the 2 catches he made after that were technically much more difficult catches. So great redemption. So he's got 4 catches for 74 yards. Of course, Mr. Sagi, the tight end, got 1 catch for 28 yards in that touchdown. And an amazing catch, Marshall Innenberger, number 20, the senior wide receiver, made a really nice catch on an out route, 1 catch for 6 yards. Defense has been solid. Tackles for loss, Hugo De La Vara Vasquez, Thomas Foote, I think Gavin Law maybe in there on a tackle for loss. But you have to say, Matt Sanders, that the performance of that Vista Ridge offensive line has been noteworthy in the first half. They've managed to move the ball. Viper defense is bending but not breaking. But they had several drives. They had a 9-play drive, a 7-play drive, and a 6-play drive. Their first possession, they went 3 and out. But beyond that, they were managing to move the football. But Vipers stand strong, only give up 7 points.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing for this defense. All year we've kind of decided, looking at this defense, what are they going to be? What's their identity? This is a lot of young guys who are stepping in and kind of finding their defensive identity as a whole unit. And so far, we've seen them kind of right now be that bend don't break, and not giving up a lot of points. Opposing teams are finding ways to kind of convert, and I think that's kind of where they need to continue to work on, is getting off the field on those key 3rd and 4th downs, not giving an opportunity. And so that's what I think it needs to be honed in on the second half, but I'm very happy with only 7 points given up against this Ranger offense who has been moving the ball, and they've looked really sharp so far. And I want to see more pressure on this quarterback. You see how uncomfortable he can get. He starts running around back there, and while he is quick-footed, we've already seen him, while he's running around back there, put the ball in kind of some dangerous areas where the turnovers are happening. And Coach talked about in the pregame show, he wants more turnovers. We force fumbles. We've had those interceptions, just not come away with it. But that's what elite defenses get. They get turnovers, and they get stops. We're seeing stops with no points, only 7 points so far, but we need to start getting those turnovers and kind of those flash defensive plays to have a full defensive game here. But not so far, pretty solid performance. I think this defense can step it up another level in the second half.
And Burl, you brought it up in the first half. Very, very clean football game.
Right.
Very well-coached teams, both the Vista Ridge Rangers and the Vandegrift Vipers. 1 penalty in that first half, no turnovers. So, Merle, a clean football game. Who's going to blink first?
Yeah, we'll find out. It'd be great. Like I said, it'd be great to come out and get some points to start the second half and really put pressure on the Vista Ridge offense. We do have some scores from in the district at the half. Westwood has finally pulled away from Maynard. They lead at 21-7. Regents over Brook Hill 49-7. Anderson against A&M Consolidated. That's a big matchup in that district. 14-14 at the half. Round Rock all over Cedar Ridge. Round Rock, whatever was with them at the start of the season, they have kind of found themselves here. They're up 35-0 over Cedar Ridge. And let's see, Eastview leading Glenn 14-7. These are all games on Vype tonight. And a correction from earlier, Stony Point is trailing McNeil. McNeil's winning 35-7. So the Mavericks bouncing back. So McNeil, Round Rock, and Westwood all leading by comfortable margins right now here on this week number 5 of the Texas high school football season.
Well, McNeil, let's talk about McNeil a little bit. I mean, would they have 20 returning starters?
Something like
19 or 20 returning starters. And we all know Coach Hermes, that he's over there as the head coach now. He was a defensive coordinator here, Matt, for I think he was the coach the DC for your team?
Yes, yeah.
Great coaching.
He's been here he was at Vandegrift for a long time.
Yep.
And he was much deserving of going out and getting a head coaching position. He's such a smart, great football coach, and he's kind of taken the Mavericks from a team that wasn't, ever really kind of competing to now kind of a playoff team, always in the hunt there, always doing a good job. And we've seen right now doing a great job. And I think like this is one of their most dangerous teams. I think they're going to be a really good threat for against the Vipers for this contending for the title.
Yeah, they got beat pretty soundly by Round Rock last week. Fell behind early, made a couple scores late to make it more respectable. I know they're trying to get their defense back in place, kind of like the Vipers are. They're battling some injuries and that kind of thing. But, yeah, they used to be a pushover, and they're not anymore.
They're not anymore. Really, there's not any pushovers in this district. I mean, it's a highly competitive district. And, Matt, you talked about it in the first half. The level of football, they're bigger. The players are bigger, faster, stronger. Central Texas is now a real hotbed of high school football in the state, and you're seeing every year, one or two state champions from this Central Texas area, including your Vandegrift Vipers.
Yep.
So Central Texas is definitely on the map when it comes to Texas football.
I continue to improve year over year, and I just think this district is going to be so fun to watch this year. Again, we still don't really know what to think about any of these teams yet. Obviously we're favoriting the Vipers to go out and win the district title, but and the Rangers sure have looked good in this first half, much better than what I was expecting. This is such a good game right now. But man, we were worried about Round Rock, but now Round Rock seems to be ahead in their game, and worried about our other teams having down years. This their up year, and you got McNeil having all their starters back, and it's just. That's what is so fun about this district. I feel like every year it's a freaking mess of who's going to come out with the playoff spots. Never know what's going to happen. So I'm glad we're in it now, back in football season, and it's truly anyone's game at this point.
Well, with all that said, nobody but Round Rock has ever beaten the Vipers in 6A district play. So in this district, I should say, this used to be 13 6A. So Vista Ridge, though, I mean, they're trying to break that 8-game losing streak. They're right in this ball game here at 14-7. Why don't we go ahead and take one more break? We've got about 3 minutes left to go in halftime. We'll give some more love to some of the sponsors, and be back for the second half kickoff. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
All right, Vandy fans, it's quiz time with Tiff's Treats. Question: how many wins did the Vipers rack up last season? 13, 14, 15? If you answered 15, congrats, you're a true Vandy Viper fanatic. And to celebrate our 6A Division II state champion Vipers and the greatness of the 2025 season, we're giving you 15% off your next order of Tiff's Treats warm cookies. Just use code VANDY15 at cookiedelivery.com. Warm cookies baked to order and delivered to the door. Tiff's Treats.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. And a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
Card My Yard. When good news comes your way, skip the card and stake the yard. It's the easiest way to decorate for any celebration. We do all the work for you. Book your order online and we'll set up the surprise and take down the decorations afterwards. Grand opening, anniversary, or any special occasion. Card My Yard. 95 franchises throughout the U.S. Now a proud sponsor of your school. Visit cardmyyard.com today.
Yeah, we welcome you back. 14-7 your score here. Vipers on top of Vista Ridge. Merle, Matt, and Hank. Didn't mean to interrupt you there, Hank. You could I still had you muted. You could have finished your story.
No, just interesting talking about all the great coaches we've got here at Vandegrift. New offensive coordinator A.J. Woolley.
Right.
Defensive coordinators Nate Griffin and Tim Spradlin. These guys put in a lot of hours, assistant coaches, all the way down to the junior high coaches. It takes a village to run a really successful program at this level in 6A, and you got amazing volunteers, amazing sponsors. What a community.
You know, it was pretty nervous, too, with Coach Woolley coming in. Some big shoes to fill with Coach Mauser and all the mad scientist wizardry stuff he cooked up with. I think everybody was kind of holding their breath. What's it going to be like? What's it going to be like? And then you wind up winning the state championship.
Yep.
So I guess it turned out okay. And Coach Mauser's doing a great job up in Tola.
Of course. And I think that's one of those things that anytime you're hiring a new coordinator, you're like, man, can they, sustain what has been so great for so long, and Woolley has done such a great job coming in, and I feel like the offense identity has kind of stuck. It's a lot of cool kind of motions, a lot of cool unique gadget plays, a lot of stuff that's kind of out of the book and what you don't see a lot of high school teams running, and it's one of those kind of not fancy, it's a modern offense, and he comes with a lot of cool ideas, and so that's what Vandegrift has kind of been offensively. It's a lot of our kids are smart. They can understand really high concepts. And so it's cool to see that identity just sticks no matter who the coordinator is. So really cool. And he's done a great job since being here.
Now Gaglione with the football on the tee. And the second half is underway from Gupton Stadium. And this kickoff is going to be returned from the 1. 5 to the 10. This is Chilton, 15, up to the 20, 25. Burst of speed out to the 28-yard line. A good return there for Brock Chilton, the senior wide receiver. And the Vipers are in business, first down, 10 to the 28-yard line.
Just like that, second half is starting. Hank, we were having a good conversation right before the air, and it's kind of like the difference between you got an offense coordinator who's on the field versus in the box. And I had kind of both. I had an offense coordinator in college who was in the box and then in high school on the field. And even nowadays, it's more common to see it up in the box because they want to kind of see the whole field view. Because it's just you can't see as much on the field. But it's really coach preference. Sometimes they want to be in the action, feel the momentum of the game, and that helps them make calls, better than seeing everything. So usually if you have an offense coordinator on the field, you have a kind of a secondary guy who is good at spotting everything from up high and communicating with the offensive coordinator.
First down Vipers from the 29-yard line. Teodecki leads them out, one receiver right to the near side, pump fake, rolling left, and then fires over the right side, and complete to the 34. And depend on the forward progress spot where they're going to mark him. He's got a terrible spot back at the 32. Wow. He caught that at the 34-yard line.
I thought there'd be some sort of
I don't know if he got separation or
I don't like that spot at all.
No.
And really nice, shout out Teodecki on the pump fake there. Faked me out on the camera. So I thought he threw it. As he kind of rolls out, creates a little more time for himself, delivers a strike. And, not a great spot. A little frustration for the Vipers, but not a bad gain either. About 3 or 4 yards here. As they're set up at about 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7 from the 32-yard line. Just underway, second half. Teodecki dropping back, and he is going to be sacked. First sack of the night. Nate Cochran, the senior defensive lineman, came through untouched. Teodecki saw him too late, couldn't spin away, and it's a big loss.
Playing some games up there on that defensive line, Vista Ridge. Looks like a little bit of a twist.
And that
twist move, and that's a big loss. Puts you into 3rd and 15.
That's not what you want to see. On now it's 3rd and about, feels like forever here on the opening drive. Momentum shifting to the Rangers right now as the Vipers need to do something on offense to bring it back.
Chilton goes in motion. Another low snap on the carpet. And again, rolling to his right. He's going to step up, tuck it under, and try to run for it to the 30. Got a chunk of it back, but not enough. Got it out to the 34-yard line, but still sets up a 4th and 5. And I would imagine we'll see the punting unit coming on here to try to pin the Rangers down deep.
Well, that's the consequence of the negative play there on 2nd down. And Vipers get into that 3rd and long. And that's at this level, that's a very difficult down and distance to execute on. Vista Ridge defensive line has shown that they can get pressure upfield, and you don't have time to get into your 2nd and 3rd read a lot of times, Matt Sanders, when you're in that 3rd and long.
Yeah, I mean, at any level, a 3rd and 15 is statistically almost impossible to convert on.
Olsen with a good punt. Castillo lets it hit the turf, and it rolls inside the 20. He's going to get away from it. It's going to roll dead
Really
down
nice
to the 15-yard
punt.
line. Beautiful punt, 35-45, about a 51-yard punt, no return.
Yeah, so drive does not go how you want. You don't get a good spot, and then just kind of a free runner as the Rangers drop some good twist and a little stunt there, get free pressure inside, and T.O., who's done a great job of knowing when to take off and use his legs, just kind of caught himself where nowhere to run, gets dropped. Really nice defensive play by the Rangers. And 3rd and 15, Hank said it best, it's so hard to get out of that situation. Statistically, you just don't see it happen often. And so the Vipers, T.O. tries to play a little hero ball, takes off with his legs, but just doesn't get it. And you gotta punt in that situation and rely on your defense here to come up with a stop.
First down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Handoff right side. And not much running. It was spun free. Broke into the secondary all the way out to the 28-yard line. Great burst of speed there by Sizatowski. Running through tackles. That doesn't happen very often.
That's a great-looking run. And you know what? They had that play pretty well blocked, sealed off. He had a nice hole to run into. Vista Ridge is continuing to execute with efficiency.
This O-line for the Rangers, I haven't talked much about it at all, but they've been doing a good job tonight. And they're a big group of linemen. Again, at this level, you just continue to see these kids get bigger and bigger.
First down at the 27-yard line after the big pickup, dropping back. Looking, firing over the middle. Caught in a dead run again to the 45 to the 50 in the Viper territory. And going to be knocked down finally at about the 45-yard line. But Deshaun Castillo has damaged the Vipers a lot tonight.
Yeah, he's been a major threat every time he touches the football.
Vipers have the football right now, saying they got it.
And what is
must have been after the forward progress stop, maybe.
Yeah, apparently they blew it early before the ball came over. But what a play! What a throw by the Rangers there.
Yeah.
Just a laser down the seam, finds his man Castillo, who, you said it best. He's been giving the Vipers problems tonight, just finding ways to get in space and create these big gains. Really nice pitch and catch for the Rangers.
A laser from Lasik. I like it. First and 10 at the 45-yard line. He's going to drop back. Pressure coming. In trouble. Steps up through the pressure. And he can move to the left side and can only pick up a couple yards there. Vipers do a good job staying home and containing that one for a short 2-yard pickup. Brady Spielis on the stop. Had some friends.
Yeah, had a great job there. Looks like we're keeping a linebacker or a safety in a spy situation on Lasik.
Hey, you got to. You saw how fast he was as soon as he got in space there. Only picks up a yard there. I thought it looked like he got a lot more with how much space he ran backwards, ran forward, ran to the side. And again, when you get pressure on him, he's not afraid to go out there and create some madness with his feet. Really nice job by the Vipers to get a stop there.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Dropping back again. Looking, firing over the left side, complete to the 40. Going to have the first down and more inside the 35. And stacked up the rugby pile forward down to the 30. Getting a push. Got to get him down here. He's going to get to the end zone all the way down to the 27-yard line. 7 or 8 yards of that coming with the push.
Well, there it is, that same part of the field we're seeing the Rangers having a lot of success, Matt, where they're going into that seam route with a tight end or a slot back, working into that with a free release. Vipers, depending on the pressure or the alignment, and that's been a targeted area by the Vista Ridge Rangers. It's been very successful in that area of the field, that middle third.
First down at the Vandegrift 27. Rangers' first drive of the second half. They're on the move trying to tie this thing up. Trips here to the near side. Lasik dropping back, looking. Pocket breaks down, rolling right, dumps it up underneath, complete to the 25. Pinned it at the 20, but he dumped it off to Jonas Spikes, a junior running back, who takes it down to the 20-yard line, a 7-yard pickup, 2nd and 3.
Chase Ritchie got there first, but
Vipers speeding up the process there, getting pressure on the quarterback. But again, a really nice play by Lasik to kind of escape the pressure for just a little bit longer and keeps his eyes downfield, finding his man for a really nice gain on first down. Sets him up nicely for looks like to be about a 2nd and 4 here.
Yeah, 6-yard pickup. Looks like Spikes in the backfield, I believe. Nope, it is the main guy inside the 20. He's going to break inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. That main guy, Sizatowski, will pick up the first down. First down and 10, Vista Ridge.
Yeah, again, that Vista Ridge offensive line.
It was Spikes, pardon me.
Yeah, in conjunction with their tight end, who's made a couple of big catches, Mason Kuhn, the senior, doing a really nice job up there, moving some earth, getting yardage in chunks on this drive.
So he touched down just inside the 15-yard line. So the Viper defense running out of real estate to defend here. First down, Vista Ridge at the Viper 14-yard line. Give it to Sizatowski. Up the middle. Nice hole. Stacked up and filled up at the 11-yard line. Gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. Second down coming up from the Viper 11.
Rohan Sturgeon, number 90. Putting the stop on that one. Good play, number 90. Vipers rotating that in defensive line, Matt. This is a long, long drive.
Yeah.
We're coming up on play number 8, and it's those big guys up front, the defensive linemen, the fatigue factor can set in on these longer drives. So Vipers up against it here with a second down and 7.
Yeah, so huge to get those fresh big bodies in. I was always jealous as an offensive lineman because there's no substituting us out, and then you get a fresh rusher in your face. It's a little annoying.
Second down and 7 at the 11. Dropping back, quarterback draw, looking for running him inside the 10. He's going to spin inside the 5 and stacked up there, but I think it's enough for the first down.
Looks like they're going to mark him maybe just
shy.
bit short. Yeah, third and about an inch. Looks like they're going to give him, maybe about a couple feet. Not quite a yard. But again, third and short here. Is there more rotations on the interior of this defense right now?
They're making a lot of hay running up, in that 0 and 1 gap, 1 and 2 hole, whatever you want to call it. Guard, center, guard. They're really moving the ball well, running up the middle.
Third down and 1 up under center. Now they're going to do a play that the Vipers run. They're going to go Wildcat here. Juggle the snap, takes it to the right side. Going to get down near the goal line. Didn't get it in, but it's going to bring up a first and goal from the 1.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Matt. It's rare when you see the Vipers not winning the battle at the line of scrimmage in the trenches the majority of the time. They've been holding their own. It's been an even contest, but on this drive in particular, Vista Ridge offense is definitely winning the line of scrimmage.
Another heavy set. Looks like a full house here, motioning over the 2 tight ends.
And handoff right side. Drug down from behind. Good job there to keep him out of the end zone for at least one more play. Is that Luke Davis? 39?
39. Came a long way to make that stop. The play is running to the right. He comes from the other side of the line of scrimmage. Looks like a stab, a little corner stab maybe, or safety stab.
Little linebacker stab. I think he's a linebacker.
Is he a linebacker?
Yeah, linebacker stab coming in on that backside. And that's such an athletic play to come in on the backside and then tackle. Again, Vista Ridge lining up in this full house set. Wildcat again.
Snap back, high snap start. Yeah, that's going to push him back 5 yards. So, you'll take what you can get.
The legal procedure.
Much needed a little breathing room here for this goal line. And that really changes how you call plays here. You go from being right on the 1 yard line to now you're about, looks like it's going to be about, 5 yard penalty here. So 6 yards now from the goal line. And that's
a completely different situation, isn't it, Matt Sanders?
You want to keep going that power run, but now it's 6 yards instead of 1. So it's a lot more yards to gain here. Really down. Everything gets compressed.
To your point, Matt, they just substituted 5 players. You're getting the beef package out of there and going more of your regular offense.
You got 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers out there now.
They spread it out. 1 receiver left, 2 to the near side. Basic in the shotgun. Second and goal from the 6. Pocket breaks down and took a shot at the 6 yard line. Stepped up, trying to run it, I guess, on maybe delayed draw or just a scramble, and he took a shot.
I think that was the Terminator, number 10, Thomas Foote. Really leveled Lasik. He pops right up. Great toughness by that young man, but what a big-time collision. Thomas Foote having a great season.
And Lasik, again, he gets happy feet back there, feels a little bit of pressure, wants to take off, use his legs, and the Vipers having none of it as they know his tendency want to take off here. And this is a big third down.
Yes, it is. Third and goal from the 6. 1 receiver left, 2 to the near side. Lasik in the shotgun. Dropping back. And foul, ball was stripped, and it's loose again. Fumble still rolling around about the 11-yard line. We'll see. Vipers say they've got it. No word yet from the officials.
We're over 2 tons of humanity in the pile there. That's a lot of the big guys scrambling for the football.
And let's
That's
see.
going to stay with Vista, apparently. Now they could talk it over here. In any event, it's going to be 4th down.
Wow.
Somebody came in from the backside and poked it loose, and then it got kicked around for a while.
Vipers just can't catch a break on these turnovers. That's their, I believe, 4th forced fumble this year, and they have not recovered any of them so far. Just not the strongest there as it just gets a little unlucky.
That ball was on the carpet for a long time.
Long time.
Little unlucky bounce, ends up in the belly of one of the offensive linemen for the Rangers as they decide, hey, all right, we've had enough backwards negative plays. Let's just take our 3 here as they're lining up for this field goal.
So this will be a 27-yarder from the near hash. Good snap and hold. Kick is up. Has the leg. And he knocks it through. So you talk about bending but not completely breaking. 2:09 to go third quarter. Vista Ridge creeps closer at 14-10, but the Vipers will get the football back still in front.
I mean, what a stance by that defense.
Yeah.
You get them all the way down to the 1-yard line, and 9 times out of 10, the offense is punching in. It's first and goal on the 1.
Right.
I mean, you got 4 chances to get in, but a little procedure penalty by the Rangers. They're trying to create a little fancy motion around, getting that Wildcat set, and just don't get fully set. Good call by the officials, backs him up, and then 2 huge negative plays, a sack and then a forced fumble by the Viper defense. Again, we talk about bending but don't breaking. Hank said it great, and the Vipers, they let them march all the way down the field just to break their hearts at the end. You give up 3 points, but, man, that you got to feel a little pain as a Rangers for the Rangers that you expect a touchdown when you're first and goal in the 1. That's what you expect. And so to walk away with 3, less than satisfactory.
I totally agree with you. I think conversely, if you're the Vipers, the defensive unit has to feel pretty good about that sequence. They really stiffened up down there, created those negative plays, and forced Vista to do some gimmickry down there, caused that illegal procedure penalty, and that's a really good outcome for the Vipers. But that Vista Ridge guys kept that ball for 11 plays, starting on their own 15-yard line, and chewed up a real chunk. There's only 2:09 remaining in this third quarter. Vipers went 3 and out on their first
position. It was almost an 8-minute drive.
Yeah, 8-minute drive.
So kickoff coming here with 2:09 to go. There's a crooked out there. Christina pointed that out. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to him or not on the crowd mic. Fielded at the 5, to the 10, to the 15. And a big seam here to the 20, 25, 30. Look out, 35 to the near sideline. And stepping out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Ontario Jackman with a good burst of speed to set up the Vipers first down 10 at the 42-yard line.
And a little trickeration there as they faked a reverse pitch toss to Brock Chilton. And everybody's got their eyes on that guy because we know he's a big-time player. But that's, what do they say? One good fake's worth 2 good blocks. Is that that's one of the old sayings I heard? But that was.
I've never heard that one before, but it sounds wise. I kind of like that.
Yeah. So that was interesting. You don't have to worry about executing that pitch. It's a fake, and it works. You're set up with nice field position.
So first down and 10, Vipers at the 42-yard line. And handoff up the middle and swallowed up for no gain.
Nowhere to run there as Moore's tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Vipers kind of motioning over, really tight bunch set. A lot of bodies over there, so the Rangers adjust, but they bring a nice little pressure from that edge, and they get to Moore before he can get moving.
Quickly moving third quarter here, 1:35 to go. Second down and 10 from the 42-yard line. Teodecki dropping back, looking, fade pattern on the left side, looking for Chilton, a lot of hand checking, and incomplete. No flag. Stride for stride with him.
That's number 3.
No, 9.
No, 9.
Gavin Brooks.
Gavin Brooks. Really nice job. He's done a really good job on Chilton. And this is what the Rangers defense does. They are fine sitting in man coverage, even against these elite wide receiver weapons for the Vandegrift Vipers. And they've done a great job running step for step with Chilton multiple times tonight.
Actually, that's number 8, and we've seen him in coverage. Kevin Jupe, the senior defensive.
Jupe, you're right.
And he's done a really nice job all night.
So third down and 10 here for the Vipers. After the nice run, they're stalling out here at the 42-yard line, trying to pick up this first down with the 121 to go third quarter. Dropping back, looking. Teodecki now rolling to his right, away from the pressure. He's got some running room. Fires over to the right side and incomplete. Try to get it to Beekler. Had him open, but that's a tough throw to make across your body on the run.
And the Vipers go 3 and out again. This offense just kind of stalling. You don't want to. You could just get a huge stop, 3 points, and you want your offense to kind of get it moving again, but.
Yeah, you need to give your defense a break there.
Yeah. Now it's another. They were just on the field for about 8 minutes straight. You go 3 and out again, and they are, they're going to be tired for this next drive. It's going to be a really hard ask for this defense to come out and get another stop after the drive they just went on to only let up 3 points.
Snap back. Olsen with another beautiful kick launched into the night sky. And lands at about the 7. There's going to be a catch interference there, I think, on the Vipers.
Yes, indeed.
Down at the 15-yard line, but they did not give Deshaun Castillo room to come up and field the football.
Well, that's the first penalty of the evening on the Vipers. And
That's amazing.
It's a big one, though. You're going, instead of starting field position on your own 14-yard line, you're going to be in a much better position. Yeah. Tightly contested football game, guys.
Yeah.
Very competitive. A lot of grinding, a lot of dirt, sweat, and mud and tears in that interior line. We're seeing a lot of big-time collisions. Big-time players making big-time plays. Wow. Deshaun Castillo has really been the star, along with the quarterback, Cameron Lasik. They have managed to connect a number of times and really causing the Vipers fits.
And that penalty makes that punt really only like a 15, 20-yard punt at most, and that just is killer for field position for this defense.
Rangers take over at the 34-yard line, dropping back. Pass over the middle of the field, caught to the 40. Here they come again to the 45, and drugged down from behind at the 48-yard line, but about a 15-yard pickup. And shaking up on the play is Luke Davis. He gets up, but he looks a little woozy.
And I believe that's Karen Pagel, the wide receiver for the Rangers there on the catch. And pressure is starting to get home to this quarterback, but just not close enough to get that sack.
Yeah.
He's got a quick release, the quarterback, Lasik.
Lasik
gets rid of the ball quick.
Under duress, but able to complete that really nice throw there.
First down and 10 for the Rangers at the 48. Handoff off the right tackle into Viper territory at the 50. Breaks the tackle and knocked out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. Quinn Sizatowski will pick up about 8 yards on the play. Second down and 2. Right now, all the momentum is with Vista Ridge.
Yeah, I agree, Merle. 100%. The Big Mo we're in red right now. Vipers need to make something here happen on defense.
Yeah.
Look for a turnover. Like as you said, Matt, we've just not had any lucky bounces or breaks. Managed to create a potential turnover in that previous drive. Let's make it happen again.
4 receivers near side. I'm not sure they're going to get this play off. 2, 1, and we have reached the end of the third quarter. So, 36 minutes in the books, 12 minutes left to go in this ball game. Vipers still on top 14-10, but Vista Ridge is closing in on trying to take the lead. We'll take a break and be right back and see how it all shakes out. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
When you buy or sell a piece of property, it helps to have a friend in the business. Independence Title will pick up the ball on your transaction and take it right across the goal line. Independence is locally owned right here in Austin with deep roots in the Vandegrift community. Independence is also the Austin Business Journal's #1 title company. Work with the home team at Independence Title. Call 329-5299 or go to independencetitle.com.
Thank you to our sponsor, Wayne Weigelt State Farm Insurance Agency, providing insurance and financial services. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Please visit www.agentwayne.com for all your insurance and financial service needs.
Welcome back to Gupton Stadium. Earl Bertrand, Hank Hudson, Matt Sanders here. Christina Weber told me not to kill the cricket, so I did, and apparently it's moved on to better pursuits. So,
big difference here in the second half, guys, is the Vista Ridge's ability to run the football, between the tackles. Sizatowski's breaking off a couple of big gains, figured something out at halftime, really moving the ball well on the ground.
Big thing here is how much time of possession this Rangers offense has had. They've just controlled the second half so far, holding this football on their drives.
So Zatowski on the end around, inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. Gain of about 4 yards on the play, and Vista Ridge moves the sticks again.
Thomas Foote, number 10, the linebacker, and also Griffin Gorsbeck on the tackle. But, another 5-yard gain on a running play. Looks like an unbalanced set there, Matt, as you shifted into a situation where you got 2 tight ends and a slot back.
This Ranger offense loves these kind of orbit motions, these sweeps, to get their guys moving already kind of full speed when they get the football.
First down to the Viper 37. Dropping back. Lasik fires over the middle of the field and incomplete. Good coverage there for Vandegrift by Cameron Ginsburg. I believe that is. Is that 30? No, it's 39 again.
Luke Davis. Mr. Davis having a really nice ball game. Couple of tackles, one for a loss. Big stop down there on the goal line.
And for a change, you're in second long instead of 2nd and 2 or 3.
Uh-huh.
2nd and long definitely feels a little better than what this Ranger offense has been getting. And they come out in a nice empty set here.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the near side. Spoke too soon. Our Cricket's back. Dropping back, Lasik. Pressure coming up the middle. They pick it up. Fires over here to the near side. Complete to the 36 and upended at the, finally get him out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Going to set up a 3rd and 5.
Oh, wow. It looks like we had the football, but it might have been out of bounds.
Might have been out of bounds. The official's right there pointing the other direction.
Again, just not getting lucky with these turnovers. So close every time, but this defense just not getting their break. 3rd down. This is probably the biggest 3rd down of this game so far. Chance for the Viper defense to make a stop and force them to make a tough decision here if they can force a 4th down.
I think that was Gavin Brooks on that reception. 3rd and 5 from the Vandegrift 32-yard line. Clock rolling, coming up on the 11-minute mark in regulation time. One receiver right, one to the near side. Lasik in the shotgun. Now they flip the formation, got trips wide right. And quarterback up the middle again. He's going to get knocked down. Beautiful play by Parker Davis. That looked like it may have been a design draw, and Parker Davis got him and knocked him down. Now it's a 4th and long.
Well, I think you're exactly right, Merle. That's a design quarterback draw with a fleet-footed Lasik, and Parker Davis read that like a book, Matt Sanders, and completely shuts it down, puts him into a 4th and long. And what a great job by Davis there, playing smart football. Did you see how quickly, look at somebody shot him out of a gun as he closed in to make that tackle?
And we've seen Parker Davis all last year just track down these mobile quarterbacks and make those tough tackles. Perfect play, perfect time for the senior. And the Rangers, 4th and long, decide to go for it. Don't have the leg for this field goal.
4th down and 9, dropping back, Lasik. Pressure coming up the middle. Fires over to the center of the field and incomplete. Almost hit it. It was intercepted.
It was intercepted. There's
Picked
turnover.
It off by Brady Cernchik, and there's your turnover.
Oh, what a great.
Would have been better off, actually, to knock that down field position-wise, but that's hard to tell, young man. Just let it fall to the carpet. Well, Cernchik with the interception will give the ball back to the Vipers.
That was a really fun sequence to watch. 2 football teams going at each other at the highest level in Texas high school football. And Vista Ridge, interestingly, in the first half, they have a 4th and less than a foot, and they decide to punt. And then your 4th and 9, I guess that's 4-down territory, but the way the field position game's going, I'm a little surprised they didn't punt there.
I am too.
Yeah, that right there, 4th and 9. You're kind of inside the 40 there. You don't have the leg for the field goal, and they kind of trust their offense to maybe make a play, but just don't get it.
Dropping back, Teodecki swings it to Chilton on the near side, and that's going to go nowhere. It's going to lose a yard or so back to the 17-yard line. This Vista Ridge defense has really stacked it up here in the second half.
Yeah, finding him on a little screen pass there, a little tunnel screen action, and he cuts back inside. No room as this defense is, where the Rangers has been so disciplined so far tonight. Vipers marked it as no gain, so 2nd and 10.
At the 18-yard line, one receiver left, 2 to the near side. Teodecki in the shotgun again. Handoff Brown up the middle. He just lowers his shoulder and bangs it up to about the 20. He's going to set up a 3rd and 8 for Vandegrift. The clock continues to move here. 9:20 to go in regulation time.
Well, and like we talked about earlier, Vista Ridge having a lot of success running up the middle. Vandegrift moved the ball on the ground pretty effectively in that first half, but so far, guys, in the second half, the door has been closed by this Vista Ridge defense.
Yeah, I mean, this Rangers defense has played outstanding so far in this game, given the Vipers just, they're playing so disciplined. They're just never, besides the one open touchdown pass, there's not a lot of guys who are just wide open.
Trips wide right, 3rd down and 8. Pass complete to Chilton to the 25. Had to run around the official. Now gives up ground back to the 30, 35, 40, and steps out of bounds at the 42-yard line. He ran a long ways, had to play dodgeball with the official to get around him. But Brock Chilton comes through. Teodecki finds him, and the Vipers move the chains.
That's just what the doctor ordered there. What a big play by Chilton.
Well, what a great athletic move by the referee there to get out of the way. Getting run over by a much younger, faster player in that situation. Deadly serious.
Boy, that's a big pickup for the Viper offense. They needed that one. First down at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, you can feel the sigh of relief to get that first down.
Teodecki, handoff, Brown, starts up the middle, bounces left side, and dives out to about the 44. That's a solid gain of 3 yards. Second down and 7 coming up.
Nice little cut there in the backfield. Usually don't see Brown making a cut like that. Usually he is a train on one track, and that's forward. But he makes a nice little cut to get a couple extra yards on that one, find his hole, and Vipers were kind of moving fast. Now they're slowing down and back to their normal pace as they're getting this drive moving.
One receiver left, 2 to the near side. Second down and 7 from the Vandegrift 44.
Signaling in a new play here. Maybe saw something they liked against this defense.
5 seconds. There we go. Handoff to Brown off the left side, and it worked inside the 50. Dives inside the 50 to the 48-yard line. Whatever they changed it to worked. First down, Vipers.
Well, you brought the tight end over to the right side. Vista Ridge shifts a bit. Linebackers take a couple of steps to that side of the field. Then you run back to the weak side. Very effective run that time. Found something for first. That's the biggest rushing gain. Well, Teodecki had a scramble for 10 yards, but the biggest gain by a running back so far by a large margin.
First down, Vipers in the Ranger territory at the 48-yard line.
Full motion over.
Brown stays in the ball game. Teodecki will give it to him again. Up the left side and down to the 46-yard line. About 2 yards on the play. Second down and 8.
And they're just continuing to ride Brown here.
Yeah.
More, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, was, dealing with a little. It came out of that game early with an ankle injury, had the week of rest, but I'm assuming this heavy dose of Brown tonight is because Moore is just still like they don't want to use him to his full extent here, but might need him in this game as this is a close one down here in the fourth quarter.
He's in here now, and Teodecki rolling to his right, looking, and he's got it back up. What a move to the 45 and slides out the 42-yard line. It looked like he was trying to find a way to get it to Moore. It was just kind of drifting off underneath the coverage, and then made a nice cutback and picked up about 4 yards, 3rd and 5.
What a play by that young quarterback there. And, senior quarterback. He's not young, but
he's younger than you.
Yeah, younger than me. So that's why I initially said that. But he does a great job of making a man miss there and then recognizing, like, I can't get much more here, taking a slide and avoiding a big hit. You need this guy for the entire season, so really smart play there to keep him upright.
Big third down here. Third down, let's call it 6 from the Ranger 44. Trips wide left. Teodecki dropping back. Looking, firing over the left side. Caught to Chilton. Who else? At about the 34-yard line, the Vipers move the chains again.
Well, what a perfectly delivered football on a very tight line. That's a lot of velocity on that ball. And, it's not as easy as it looks, but number one in your program and number one in your heart, Brock Chilton, makes it look easy.
First down, Vipers. In no hurry here. Halfway through this fourth quarter.
Yeah, they're kind of finding their momentum here. They're definitely trying to give their defense a break. They went 3 and out 3 times. Now they're saying, hey, you guys can take a little breather here. Nice job.
Try Brown again. He lowers the shoulder and bangs it down to the 30-yard line. That'll be a 4-yard pickup on first down, second down and 6.
Good omen there as the things are starting to open up. A big hog molly unit grinding earth.
Getting close to Wiley Olsen range. He's 1 for 1 on field goals. That kick was only 37 yards, but we know he can kick it longer than that. Be 48 from here. They're thinking 7, but I'm just filing that away for future reference. Second and 6 from just outside the 30. Double tight end set to the right side. Give it to Brown again, up the middle again, and dives out of the 26, very near the first down marker.
Nice run. Just got
tripped up.
A yard short. Yeah, just get tripped up right before the first there. But Brown and this offensive line finally finding some room here and doing a great job on the ground this drive.
C.J. Milligan, senior linebacker, had to come out for a play because the helmet came off. So let's see if the Vipers coaching staff keys on that maybe a little bit here. Could be in 4-down territory here. 3rd down and 2 from the 27.
Vipers in their single line formation, not wanting to reveal what kind of personnel they've got on the field. It looks like it's their classic jumbo set here.
Teodecki up under center and timeout. Timeout taken by Vista Ridge.
Yep. And that is exactly what you want to see. That's the whole point of lining up like that in a single file line. Cause confusion for the other team. And in a game as tight as this, it's a 4-point game. We're in the fourth quarter. There's 4 minutes, 44 seconds left, 4:44 there in the fourth quarter. And you need every single stoppage of time.
With a 4-point lead.
Yeah, with a 4-point lead. There's a ton of force here. And, not 4 timeouts, but, now you only have 2 timeouts to stop the clock. And if the Vipers score here, you're going to need those timeouts. You're going to need those timeouts late in this game.
Head coaches are extremely stingy with those timeouts in games like this, especially in the second half. So, there's a situation. So the Vipers force them to burn a timeout. And I think that you're right, Matt. I think that could come back and be a factor in the game, especially, like you said, if the Vipers manage to go down here and score.
As the clock kind of drips out here in this fourth quarter, every drive has been a really long drive at this point in the game now. And no one's in too much of a hurry. So to burn a timeout like that can have huge implications.
Same formation for the Vipers after the timeout. Teodecki up under center, double tied in on the right side. And they're going to give it to Brown. He's going to bullhorn his way inside the 25 all the way down to the 21-yard line. Needed 2, picked up 7. First down, Vipers.
I mean, that's old school right there, man. That's, that looked like a Pop Warner play. That's what we used to do to Pop Warner. You run an unbalanced right, under center.
Just create a mass of humans. And
humans.
Let them figure it out.
Looked like setting up my electric football game at home.
Yeah, that's just a beautiful run again. The rolling ball of butcher knives, Sam Brown.
First down, Vipers at the Ranger 22. Clock moving again, 4:19 and a 5-yard mark-off.
Yeah, get him to jump there, and there was contact at the line of scrimmage, so should be on the defense there. Let's see what the refs, pointing on the Rangers there. Really nice job by the Viper offensive line, not flinching for that hard count, getting a nice free 5 yards, and every single yard as you move into the red zone is so crucial.
Yep.
Really nice job by the Viper offensive line.
We got an early look at that result thanks to the left guard, 74, Will Wood.
Teodecki in the shotgun, 1st and 5 from the 16.
Try to hard count one more time, see if we can get them 2 times in a row. But normally that doesn't happen because they're pretty angry about giving up the 5 yards previously.
Give it to Brown off the right side, and this time he runs right into a brick wall in the form of Chris Johnson, a senior defensive end.
Stacked up there for no gain. Really nice play by the Ranger defense. But again, still second and about 5 here, so you're not worried at all about the no gain.
Right.
As you already got the free 5 yards. So you still have your full playbook here at your disposal.
So I think that procedure penalty, Matt, was definitely a hard count based on that reaction by the offensive line. They were really fired up that they managed to sit at home.
2nd and 5. Teodecki in the shotgun. They send Brown in motion to the left side. Looking left. Fires wide open over the middle of the field. Caught. Touchdown, Vandegrift.
Whoa,
boy, could see that one coming. Brock Chilton wide open.
I mean, wide open. And a really interesting set again there. They motioned the running back out to the left. There's a flag down. What do we got?
Eligible downfield.
Wow.
Oh, that is such a brutal call.
That happened so fast.
I don't know. Those big guys can't get downfield that fast, Matt Sanders. But, I mean, that's a 5-step drop and throw or a 3-step drop and throw.
Even our cricket friend on the crowd mic protesting that call.
I don't know how that's possible. You watch the offensive line there; they're all in a drop back set. It's not RPO.
Right.
So there's just no way that there's an eligible man downfield. I mean, that is maybe the worst call I've ever seen at this stage in the game. A ref inserting himself and taking away 7 points from the Vipers. That is terrible.
Now it's 2nd down and 10 from back at about the 21-yard line. Dumps it over the middle. I just took an extra play. Brock Chilton says, you can't take it away from me twice.
Well.
Ball does not lie, and that's a nice play. Nice touchdown, just what the Vipers needed. And now
the same play. That was kind of in your face.
Yeah, it's like, hey, all right, we'll just run it again. Why not?
I have to say that's a little bit of justice. The universe has restored order. The natural order of things been restored. You got Brock Chilton on a 22-yard touchdown reception on what is the exact same play out of a bit of a different formation. They left the running back in on that play, but a very accurate throw again. And Brock Chilton does such a good job with his releases and running routes.
Yeah, Wally Olson knocks the extra point up and through. So that's a big point because it now takes a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah,
and 3-16.
That just stretches that lead. It's now 11 points, and now that timeout you burned earlier is now looming over. You have now the 2-minute timeout and then 2 timeouts. That's all you've got. So it kind of puts the pressure on where now, as the Rangers offense, this run game that has been so good for you so far in the second half, you can't go to it anymore. You have to throw the football. You have to be up-tempo. Really limits your playbook, and now the Vipers can really draw up pressure now because they're not worried about run game. They can pin their ears back and get after your quarterback here. So this just kind of changes the whole situation of the game now that you are down 11 and you've 3 minutes to come back 2 possessions. So it's not an easy task at all.
You know, at halftime we were talking about Coach Woolley taking over as offensive coordinator. What a great job the offense did on that drive. They have been stuck the entire second half, and all of a sudden they found something, and they made it work, and they get the big 7 points.
First 2 possessions of the first half, 3 and out. Your scoring drive summary, your Texas Division's Family Physician scoring drive summary on the third possession, 12 plays. The Vipers go 82 yards, a 22-yard touchdown strike from Miles Tiadecki to Brock Chilton. Touchdown Vipers 21-10. What a drive.
So Wally Olsen set to kick it away from the 40-yard line. And this kickoff is going to be fielded. Nope, goes into and out of the end zone.
Really nice kick there, and Viper defense set up for, just got a crucial stop on that 4th down, and now, they're one stop away from really sealing this game here, so.
Well, have you noticed how accurate Olsen is on his kickoffs? He kicks it to the exact same spot.
That's true.
Every time.
Also probably helps he sees that LISD there, like he's at home,
Right.
I wonder what the win percentage here for the Vipers in this stadium is. It's got to be pretty high.
Got to be pretty good.
I don't think we've ever lost a game here.
Took a couple of lumps against Cedar Park in the early years here maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah.
First down 10 to the 25-yard line. Dropping back. Lasik fires over here to the left side. Got the receiver. Did he make the catch?
What a catch.
They're going to give it to him. What a great catch. Gavin Brooks double covered.
And that'll get your offense fired up.
Yeah.
I mean, what a grab by that kid.
I mean, you had great coverage there. The cornerback stride for stride. That's number 17, Brady Spielis. And then you got the
Cernchik, I think, was there too.
Yeah, he came over and made a great break on the ball. That's just
able to hang on.
Phenomenal catch.
That's just what you needed when you're behind on time. You need a big play.
Lasik fires over to the right side. That one a little bit off the mark, trying to get it out to Deshaun Castillo. Stops the clock, 2:53 to go in regulation time. 2nd and 10 from the Vandegrift 47-yard line.
What a performance by Lasik in this game.
Yeah.
He comes in. He's not the designated starter at the beginning of the season. Comes in and, helps engineer some scoring drives off the bench last week, and he has looked really, really solid throwing the football. I think that's the first kind of missed throw we've seen him make all night.
Right. 2nd and 10 from the Viper 47. Trips wide right. Nobody here to the near side. Dropping back. Pocket starts to break down, and then we got whistles finally. It took a while for
legal
them to come
procedure.
Get a nice false start there as the Vipers do that classic stem on the line, and they don't yell no snap count or anything. They just yell shift in your face, and I've heard that a good amount of practice. Definitely have.
I'm sure.
Back in high school, I had a couple false starts. You don't want to admit it, but sometimes you're just not expecting the noise, and gets you as an offensive lineman, especially late in this game. Crowd is roaring, and that is a big procedure penalty that backs you up. And now it's 2nd and 15, which is, and you're going to have to throw it here. If you throw an incomplete pass, then it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 15. You don't see many teams convert on those chances here. So that is a huge 5-yard.
They put 4 seconds back on the game clock, but you're under 3 minutes at 2 minutes and 53 seconds, and time is on your side.
2nd down and 15, back at the Ranger 48. Lasik dropping back, firing underneath, and caught and dropped almost immediately at the 48-yard line. Got some of the penalty yardage back. Good hands there by Kieran Pagel, the junior wide receiver, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and 11.
That's dropped by number 0.
3rd and 9, pardon me.
Gorbeck there with the immediate answer. Nice hit there.
They're going quickly. Trips wide right. 3rd and 9 from the 47. Dropping back. Lasik pump fake. Now pocket breaks down. Looking right. Throws it up for grabs up the right side. That ball is incomplete.
Really nice play.
Yeah.
By the defensive back. I believe that's.
Is that Gorbeck again?
No, I think it's number
8.
Tobias Gray.
Yeah, Tobias Gray.
We haven't called him a lot this year, and he had a lot of interceptions last year. Maybe he's one of those guys that's come back from injury.
Yeah, he has. Last year was one of those guys who's just stingy when the football's in the air, and he's made a couple, plays on the air, breaking up passes right there, really good coverage, but really this defense hasn't had many turnovers.
Here's your ball game.
The one tonight.
4th down and 9. Dropping back. Lasik fires underneath and incomplete. And the Vipers defense comes up big when it matters.
Oh, but, and that time I think he got a little bit unsettled. There was some pressure coming from the outside. Parker Davis has come from the edge there and just didn't get his feet totally set. Not as accurate as we've seen him all night. So, the death of 1,000 cuts, that ferocious rush from the Vipers defense gets you a little bit unsettled, and the opera is not over because the fat lady hasn't sung yet, guys. But with 2:20, the Rangers have 2 timeouts. You're definitely on the front foot here.
Yeah, all the Vipers need to do is just run out this clock.
That's right.
You got a run play here. Going to take it to that 2-minute timeout. That's now in high school football in Texas, and then just got a couple more run plays. 1 first down after this 2-minute timeout will seal this.
That will seal it up. First down at the Viper 46, and the handoff to Brown up the middle, and to the 50.
Running.
4-yard pickup.
I think you take a timeout right now. Yeah,
yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think that's a good call by the.
This running game right now for the Vipers is about as unsexy as it can be, but it is getting the job done.
Yeah, they're just nothing explosive, nothing crazy, but Sam Brown is
the battering ram.
He just finds a way to just get the yards that are needed. And Moore just, hasn't been as involved tonight, still coming, probably just coming back off that injury that he's been nursing. And when, it's good to see that when Moore's not 100%, Brown can step up and get what we need to get done in the run game to win the game. So,
we were
he's
talking
done a really
about
good job.
were talking about this halftime, guys, about, injuries. And, we don't talk about those in the air, obviously. But, we had some injuries early in the season last season, but as we got into the playoffs, we were healthy across the board.
Yeah.
So
almost freakishly so.
Uh-huh.
2nd and 6 from the 50. 2:15 left. Rangers with 1 timeout and the 2-minute timeout left. Hand off to Brown again. There he goes again, and he dives inside the 45. That's going to be very near. It looks like he's going to be about a yard shy. Didn't go to a great spot.
Yeah, it depends on
and is coach going to use his second timeout, or is he going to let it go to the?
I think he's going to let it go here. So 2-minute timeout. Vipers on top 21-10. We'll take one last break and be back to wrap this one up. Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Family time, anytime, always worth every dime. On our ways, chicken eat, unbelievable sweet tea. Express tenders, they're the best, not to mention all the rest. Chicken E's the place to go for all of us in the know. Plenty of size to make a meal. Chicken E is for real. Follow me to Chicken E. Gotta have their sweet tea.
If you or your Vandegrift athlete have suffered an orthopedic injury or have joint pain, let Dr. Matthew Crawford and his team at Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine take care of you. Dr. Crawford specializes in diagnosis and treatment of sports-related injuries with an emphasis on injury prevention and conservative treatments. He and his team offer cutting-edge arthroscopic and minimally invasive surgical techniques. Visit them today at austin-orthopedics.com. Let Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine keep you at the top of your game.
3rd down and 1 from the Ranger 46-yard line. First down here will do it for Vandegrift. Brown lined up, takes the handoff off the right side, and I think he got the push to pick up the first down, and that guy should do it.
I think that could be the ball game.
They mark him for that first down, muscles forward. Ref coming in, a little pile up, having to break that up there. But, again, heated little rivalry on both sides.
Yeah.
Signal on the first down, and with 2 minutes left and only 1 timeout for the Rangers.
Really good high school football game tonight, guys.
Here.
I mean, just a really enjoyable game to watch, as a neutral or a partisan fan.
Yeah.
I think we got to see a highly competitive matchup, 2 very well-coached teams, both teams with some explosive plays, limited in the number of there's hardly any penalties, 1 turnover. I mean, a clean football game against 2 really well-coached ball clubs. They came in, both of them, Merle, as you brought up early. Both teams were 4-0. Something had to give, and it looks like the Vipers are going to get out of Gupton Stadium again and move to 5-0.
But it wasn't easy, and
not at all.
There's a very realistic chance. Vista Ridge and Vandegrift, the two of the smallest schools. Vandegrift, the smallest school in District 25 6A. Vista Ridge and Dripping Springs are the only schools that Vandegrift has played twice in one season. There's a very realistic chance that we can see these guys a second time this year.
Interesting stat. Matt Sanders, I noticed that per your reference earlier, we got a little timeout practice there on the under snap center by your new center.
Yeah, you got to run that through, especially with the new center taking his first snaps. And they're just going to kneel this one out, and that should be the game. Little extracurriculars there at the line of scrimmage. Nobody really likes each other still, even though this game has been decided. And the Vipers get a crucial win. This is one of those teams that they're undefeated. We're 3-1, undefeated in district play coming to this one. And this is just one of those games that whoever wins this game basically come a lot closer to getting that district title. So this is a huge win for the Vipers. And I got a little fun stat for you guys that I was going to share earlier, but I was waiting for the game to kind of be decided before I share this stat. But the Vipers are 13-0 now, 14-0 coming off a bye week. So that just shows how this coaching staff has done such a good job of improvement week, not bye week, improvement week coming off and making improvements, adjusting their team, and getting a win off that crucial week of just kind of resting up and improving and getting better for the season. So Vipers stay undefeated coming off that improvement week.
Very nice.
For this one.
One more snap here will do it. Third down, that's irrelevant. 50 seconds left. They have to snap it one more time. And then they can head to the sideline and celebrate, going 2-0 in district play, guaranteed to pull into a tie with Hutto at 2-0. Vista Ridge will drop at 2-1. There's your final snap. And a good ball game here. A good win for Vandegrift. Wasn't easy. And Coach said it. It's not going to be as easy this year as it's been in years past.
Well, it's a really competitive football game, and a very well-prepared Vista Ridge Rangers team came in with a really great game plan. I think you saw, the net effect, Matt Sanders, of the preparation that the coaches do, watching the film, breaking film down. They found some pockets and some opportunities against this Vandegrift defense. And, when you got a player like number 1, Deshaun Castillo, you get him into some space. They did a really good job finding him all over the field. They handed it to him on jet sweeps. They threw him quick little screen, quick hit screens. Got him on a couple of deep balls. And he's going to be a standout player in this district. And I think Vista Ridge is a playoff caliber football team.
I do. I think there's a reason they were undefeated before they met the Vipers here in Gupton Stadium tonight, and it's just they play a complete game. I was super impressed with their defense. I thought that I heard. Coming to this game, they play a lot of man coverage. I said, we're going to get them on that. We've got really fast wide receivers, and their DBs held up great. Had a lot of speed on the edge. Did a really nice job covering, and their D-line is kind of the strength of their defensive unit, and they showed to match up against the huge offensive line for the Vipers. So I was really impressed defensively with this team and offensively as well. That was a good football team and a really good game, better than I was expecting tonight, and that's just part of it. This district, we talked about earlier, truly anyone's game in this district this year, and the Vipers, as they've kind of a younger team this year, a lot of new faces, and they've got to continue to find their identity. And this is a statement game. They'll kind of very happy to win, but they're going to learn a lot from this one as well.
Vista Ridge drops at 2-1. Vipers pull into a tie with Hutto at 2-0. Round Rock is 2-1. Cedar Ridge is going to go to 1-2. McNeil 2-1. I think it's going to come down to McNeil and Vista Ridge for the final playoff spot in the district. So when those two meet, that could be very, very interesting. 21-10, Vipers get the win. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from Coach Sanders a couple of times. He'll close out the Hallmarks portion of the messaging to his team every year. And then Brian Spears will catch up with the coach down the sideline. We'll get to all of that in the post-game show. Right after this break, Vipers with a clutch win, 21-10. We'll take a break and be right back. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Viper fans, is your home in need of a refresh? Whether you want a full-service home renovation or it's time to create your dream kitchen or bathroom, A. Newman Interiors has you covered. We will use our preferred pricing with major brands to choose the most perfect furniture and finish selections for any space in your home or office. A. Newman Interiors has proudly served the 4 Points community for over 10 years, and there's no better clients than our Viper fans. Call 626-310-2315 today to schedule your free consultation.
Floor Coverings International in Lakeway makes shopping for your new flooring easy. Floor Coverings International carries a full assortment of flooring to fit the purpose of the room, your lifestyle, and budget. Locally owned by Kevin Temple and family, Floor Coverings International offers free in-home consultation with a design associate. At Floor Coverings International in Lakeway, our goal is making your home flooring project a positive and convenient customer experience. Visit us today in Lakeway or online at lakeway.floorcoveringsinternational.com.
On the field, defense is everything. At Austin Dental Company, we got you protected the same way.
We accept dental insurance and we also have in-house memberships.
Regular checkups keep you in the game.
Cosmetics and Invisalign.
For championship smiles. Whether it's game day or any day, we got your smile covered.
Dr. Martin Molina and his staff welcome you to Texas Family Physicians at River Place. Texas Family Physicians provides comprehensive family medical care for men, women, and children of all ages. They specialize in adult and pediatric preventative care, hypertension, diabetes, sports medicine, and seasonal allergies, just to name a few. They also offer Impact Certified baseline and post-injury concussion testing and treatment in office. Visit Texas Family Physicians online at texasfp.com. Texas Family Physicians at River Place. texasfp.com.
All right, Viper fans, time for the Viper Minute, where we talk just briefly about the things that make us Viper football. We have talked about discipline, effort, and toughness. Our final hallmark is honor, and our tagline for honor is, it's not about me, it's about us. Man, what a valuable concept. If you are listening to this broadcast and you have a teenager in your house, you know the concept of putting others first before me is foreign to a teenager, completely foreign. And honestly, though, you probably realize, if you're listening to this, you probably realize it's kind of foreign to most adults. Like, this concept of putting others before myself is hard. And we start from the very beginning of our life wanting everything for myself as a child, and rightfully so, because you're trying to survive when you first start. And then at that point, it just continues from arguing over a toy to wanting to be invited to a certain party when somebody else wasn't. It just continues our whole life. It is an absolute battle to fight that desire to be put first. And the crazy thing is, and this is why football is so great, it's the ultimate team sport. And so you can have the best running back in the world, but if you don't have a good offensive line, you're not going anywhere past the first round for sure. Ask Barry Sanders. And so I think that this team aspect of putting others before yourself, it's not about me, it's about us, is something that might be the most important thing that our young men will carry with them the rest of their life as they go and be an adult and be a father. You know, I think all the time about this when I'm doing the dishes, and you know, I don't want to do the dishes, and I've got them there sitting in the sink, and my wife cooked, and I've had a long day, and I've been up since 4. And it's a battle within my mind to go, well, if I tell my kids it's not about me, then I kind of need to sit up here and do the dishes for a little bit, or whatever the help is. You know, go pick something up, or go grab something on the way home from the store. Like, that is, honestly, I think what makes life rich is understanding that this thing isn't about you. And when you can have that attitude as you go throughout your day, as you go throughout your life, you stop looking for people being negative about you. Stop looking for negative things happening. You start looking for the positive, like how the thought process is, how can I help that person? What can I do for that person? What's something that I could go brighten someone's day with? You know, that is a really cool thought process, and it starts with this phrase, it's not about me, it's about us. And as a football program, that's pretty dang valuable. I don't catch the ball, I only get 2 catches, I'm a receiver, and the other guy gets 8. I could pout about that, or I could be happy for him and hoping next week is my chance to catch 8 or 10, you know? And so I think it's one of the main reasons we've been so successful over the years is kids, our young men, have bought into that. And so that concept, as you can tell, I'm pretty passionate about. And I hope, you know, that kind of saying can help other people do the same thing in their families and their organizations.
Texas Malibu is your exclusive dealer for the world's best-selling water sports towboats. Malibu. We are now the largest dealer for Malibu boats worldwide with locations in Austin, Marble Falls, Texas Ski Ranch in New Braunfels, and now Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Visit the enthusiasts at any of our locations or online at texasmalibu.com to pick out your family's dream boat and make memories on the water that will last a lifetime.
All right, Vandy fans, it's quiz time with Tiff's Treats. Question: how many wins did the Vipers rack up last season? 13, 14, 15? If you answered 15, congrats, you're a true Vandy Viper fanatic. And to celebrate our 6A Division II state champion Vipers and the greatness of the 2025 season, we're giving you 15% off your next order of Tiff's Treats warm cookies. Just use code VANDY15 at cookiedelivery.com. Warm cookies baked to order and delivered to the door. Tiff's Treats.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
Card My Yard. When good news comes your way, skip the card and stake the yard. It's the easiest way to decorate for any celebration. We do all the work for you. Book your order online and we'll set up the surprise and take down the decorations afterwards. Grand opening, anniversary, or any special occasion. Card My Yard. 95 franchises throughout the U.S. Now a proud sponsor of your school. Visit cardmyyard.com today.
I'm a geek. I like that music. I don't know why.
That was a sick intro song, actually.
Yeah, what is that music? Where'd you find that?
I borrowed that from our Vype Fort Bend affiliate. He was using it for a couple of years, and I said, is that public domain? He said, yeah. I said, well, good, because we can't play copyrighted music anymore on YouTube. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I don't recall hearing the Metal Shock, the Merle Bertrand Nasty song.
Yeah,
did they play it?
Actually, if they did, maybe it's because of facing the other way or something.
Yeah, I think we might have missed it just because it's a pretty big stadium. We're all the way over here. So.
Out of the cricket dropped us out.
Yeah, the cricket is killing our audio.
That's our main band right there.
Nice win tonight for the Vipers, 21-10. Hank's been fiercely going over the stats. Brian sent the interview with Coach Sanders. Haven't gotten it yet. We'll do it the old school way if we haven't received it yet, Hank. But what do you got?
Well, a very interesting football game. Several changes in momentum during that game. In that second half, boy, it looked like Vista Ridge was really in the ascendancy. That big 11-play drive, and you've got it first and goal, and you get a couple of tackles for loss. It was just big play. They handed it to their best running back, and it was number 39, Luke Davis, making a very big play from the backside for about a 2-yard loss. But that was an 11-play drive, and they had to settle for only 3 points. Now the Vipers, in that second half, first 2 drives, we talked about it before, 3 and out and punts. And then you take the ball early in the fourth quarter, and you go on a 12-play, 82-yard drive for a touchdown, culminating in a 22-yard touchdown strike from Tiadeki to Chilton that really got you the separation that you needed and made it a 2-score game. But statistically speaking, the rolling ball of Butcher Knives, 19 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown. That's Sam Brown, number 40. What a performance from him, and the most number of players contacted definitely goes to Sam Brown because he's going to initiate contact, like you said, Matt, and try and run through some people and take a well-deserved ice bath because he had a whale of a performance. And I think Justin Moore did not get but 2 or 3 carries. I think he's still nursing a bit of an injury. Hope to get him back healthy soon. But what a great job by Sam Brown tonight. Miles Tiadeki finished with 17 completions against 22 attempts, 238 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Really efficient performance from him. And, he doesn't take a lot of sacks. And we got that sack early on that first drive. That's one thing I've noticed about them. He gets rid of the football or does something with it. And he got caught on a sack and a 7-yard loss, but he carried the ball 5 times for 28 yards other than that. You had Mr. Chilton had 9 catches for 130 yards in that TD reception. He also had about 30 yards of return yardage, so all-purpose, over 150 yards. What a performance from him. Thomas Beekler, 4 catches for 74 yards. The big touchdown strike to the tight end. I just want to make sure I get his name right. It's
Arnav
Sagi,
Yeah.
number 18, the tight end. And, what a job he does in the blocking game. He does a lot of heavy lifting in the blocking game. Did a great job reeling in that touchdown pass from Tiadeki. And then you also had number 20, that was Lindenberger, getting 1 catch for 6 yards. So, not big numbers statistically on offense. A very tight football game. It's a very well-coached football team, the Vista Ridge Rangers.
Well, I'm going to try to get this interview played here, and then we can come back and wrap it up. So hold on a second while I jiggle with my headset, and we'll see if we can get this thing going.
Lifeline here with Vandegrift head coach Drew Sanders after a great win tonight at Vista Ridge against a good Vista Ridge team. The Vipers pulled it out. Coach, what are your thoughts right now?
I'm just really proud of our guys and our culture. I told them all week this is a culture war. We are about our brand, Vandegrift, and each other. And that won out tonight. It was a tough, physical game. They're an improved team. But the road to the district title still runs through us.
Yeah.
So everybody that tried to count us out after our first club, they're figuring out, we're starting to figure it out. And our guys know how to win. Our guys know how to play hard. And that's what you saw tonight.
Yeah. Your defense played kind of a bend but no break it a lot of times
they're
there.
a good offense.
And your offense came out and pulled some things out where they needed to. Happy to get out of here with that win.
It was a hell of a 6A district win. I mean, our district this year is pretty even. And so it's really nice for us to grind it out, find a way to win, keep that us in the driver's seat for the district title, and keep making sure everybody knows that it still goes through us.
Absolutely. Everyone's coming for you, and good the way you respond. Congrats, Coach. Enjoy the weekend.
Oh, he'll enjoy it a lot more with that 21-10 win, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get a nice win like this against a team we've been playing since feels like the dawn of time, you're going to be pretty happy. He's going to be pretty psyched up and glad to get that win off a much-needed improvement week for this team and get it rolling into the rest of district play. So I thought Coach said it best. This was a culture war. I like that we stood the test of time. We finished out in the second half, did what we needed to do to win. Not the prettiest win in the world, but got the win regardless and did what we needed to do. That, again, I just want to highlight, again, that defensive stand on the 1 yard line.
No kidding.
That was the game. Defense came, and, we talked about they're giving up yards, but they're not giving up points. Settling for 3 points when you're on first and goal on the 1 yard line is such a huge thing as an offense. It's mentally, it's depleting. You get 3 points, and you're like, we were on the 1, we couldn't get 7. It's just such a huge mental game in that aspect. And so that was the start of the Vipers putting the game away. So impressed. And then to come back and score after that egregious penalty of the illegal man downfield. I was literally watching the replay on the coach's booth was right next to us. They replayed the play right next to me, and I watched it 3 times over to make sure I was not seeing anything. And it was a quick, kind of deep slant, maybe like a shallow post almost, and it was a 3-step drop and throw.
Yeah.
The entire offensive line is in pass pro backing up. I think they were all 4 yards the other way towards the quarterback because they're all retreating in pass pro. I just couldn't see what he saw for the call, and that's why I almost lost my mind on that one. But I love that we answered immediately, same play again, scored, and put this game away. Love that.
I mean, you wonder on that play if maybe they spotted the wrong player because you had a side judge. The side judge is always going to make that call. And maybe they just, I don't know, maybe one of the tight ends in the formation confused them a bit. I mean, I don't know, but I
don't know.
It's not theoretically possible to have a lineman downfield on that route and throw combination. Exactly. So I agree with you, and I may not lose as much sleep tonight about that as you, but it definitely was a bad call.
I won't lose any sleep over it because we won and because we scored immediately after. But that was a very hard penalty at that point in the game. That was a crucial timing, and that would have been deflating if the Vipers didn't respond like they did. So super impressed how the offense just bounces right back and says, all right, we'll just run it again. We'll run the same play.
Run
Ball don't lie and
run the
put it in
same
the
play,
end zone.
and then you get Chilton. And so it's not an accident that he gets open all the time.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
He does a lot of different things with his releases. You saw some frustration, not frustration so much as we just couldn't execute the play on the deep balls because of great coverage.
Yeah.
And then, that's an outside type release. And then, you figure it out, and credit to the offensive coordinator, A.J. Woolley. He says, look, he got a clean release inside. He's got body position. Let's just run the same play. And perfectly delivered football. I mean, it was like a mirror image, and the Vipers, that was the football game right there. Some key moments, as you said, Matt, but, and managing to punch it in that situation after, a really weird penalty.
Yeah.
That was a big moment.
Well, we got to get out of here. They're shutting the lights off on us. We're not at home. I keep forgetting that part. So that's going to do it for us tonight. We'll be back with you next week when the Vipers return home to face an old friend and former defensive coordinator Scott Hermans and his McNeil Mavericks, who are big winners tonight. So for my broadcast partners, Hank Hudson and Matt Sanders, Brian Spielos, our sideline reporter, Christina Weber-Bertrand, our QA and Vype's communications director, technical director Suna Vincott. My name is Merle Bertrand, signing out from Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park, where the Vandegrift Vipers have held off the Vista Ridge Rangers by a final score of 21-10. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week for more Viper football right here on the Vype Live Network. Good night, everybody.
You've been watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network, presented by our Playmaker sponsors, Independence Title, Wayne Weigelt with State Farm, and Chicken Express at 4 Points. Vandegrift Vipers football on Vype Live is also brought to you by our Black Level sponsors, Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and Steiner Ranch Steakhouse. And our White Level sponsors, Amanda Newman Interiors, Austin Dental, Card My Yard, Floor Coverings International, Rudy's Barbecue, Texas Family Physicians, Texas Malibu, and Tiff's Treats. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Vype Live.